Well, hello. Tonight we're going to be talking. We're going to do our Bible reading of Genesis 38 today, and then we're going to be refuting, or at least dealing with the question. We're going to be returning to Genesis 34, if I could talk, trying to deal with what we were trying to deal with what folly meant, but we wound up
Now we're dealing with fought Raleigh.
fought Raleigh. Yeah, this is going to be a night, and then we're going to discuss. We're going to reflect on the disclosure alien debacle, which seems to have been spearheaded by Perry Stone. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about whether or not men can live without vice. I don't think they can. But anyway, we'll talk about it. So, welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F Podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. I'm Gary. Guy in red is Trevor. Below is Cody. How are you gentlemen today?
Swimming,
huh?
yeah.
All right. Well, you guys are going to have to bear with me because I'm like
swimming
very cloudy-headed
coffee.
today. Swimming in coffee? Why are you swimming in coffee?
Because I've got it stuck in duct tape so it doesn't fall over. And ruin my computer again.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen again.
He learned a lesson.
Yeah, and duct tape fixes everything.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. Our parents are proud. So
based coffee.
There we go. All right.
Roach-filled coffee.
Oh gosh, that's gross. So let's get on with it. We were going to start on Genesis 38. Whoa, I'm echoing. What? Hang on a minute.
What? Am I echoing too? I can talk while you're echoing.
Yeah, you talk because you're fine.
So last week we tried to start on 34, and then we realized we already did that one, so we started on 35, and we already did that one, so we started on 36. Then we already did that one, and I think we correctly started on 37 at some point.
No,
it was kind of a mess.
We did 36, 37, and started 38. So we're going to finish 38 this week.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay. I can still hear me. What the heck?
It's probably OBS again.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Can you mute that one channel that was giving you issues earlier?
I can mute anything, but it's not... All right. You guys talk while I fix this, because...
It sounds like you're talking to yourself, so...
Yeah.
It's too heavy.
I'm probably crazy. Yeah, you guys talk and I'll deal with this.
Do you want me to go ahead and start reading it?
Yeah, go ahead and just reread Genesis 34.
34.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Genesis 34, King James Version, from Bible Gateway. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. We were talking about that earlier, weren't we?
Yep.
We were. So clave unto Dinah.
And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel.
Man, that doesn't make... Okay.
Why does it make sense?
And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. I think it's denoting defiled is he didn't like marry her first. He did.
Yeah.
Because there's like an order to these things. Like you have to get married and then defile or whatever. So
defile her after marriage.
Right. Then it's not defiling.
Then it's not.
It says his soul clave unto Dinah. That's a big thing to happen, right?
Right.
But he did it without a wedding vow or anything. So I think that's the defiling part, because it says he spake kindly to her and all that. So I don't think there was any rape involved.
Well,
I think
and verse 3 says that he loved the damsel. So
right.
was she a damsel in distress, and he wound up falling in love with her?
No, I think damsel's just a word for chick.
Well, is it kind of like the Beauty and the Beast type thing, where the beast
I guess
falls in love with her?
there could be a little bit of thematic writing, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it does kind of remind me of, like we were talking earlier about it, Shakespeare. Like Shakespeare could have ripped this story off, and I mean it's literally almost the same story, because the whole family fights and there's a feud.
Romeo and Juliet type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's where he got the idea. He read Genesis.
There's only like 12 stories in the world, man. Like it's just repeats with different characters.
Pete and repeats. I don't know what.
Yeah.
So repeats.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything inherently nefarious about what Shechem did.
So,
as far as I can go. Gary, how do you do it? You figured it out?
No, it's still fighting me. I'm having to talk really slow so I don't get confused.
He's thrown his voice like
so
Shaggy and Scooby-Doo.
So we're just going over the definition of that word right now, right?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out. Oh, I fixed it. Hooray.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
He's a fixer of...
What was it?
It was the headphones on the one of the audio channels. For some reason, it's grayed out. But yeah, it was grayed out, but it was picking up my headphones. It's weird. All right, so it turned my headphones into a monitor, which was very irritating. So anyway, okay, so
it's a monitoring spirit.
We had a guy during one of our, not last week's live stream, but the live stream before. He was very upset with us because he didn't think rape was the issue, and I knew we talked about it. We weren't sure. We hadn't really landed on an answer. I think we decided it was the R word, but last time, but I don't recall. But anyway, there was some discussion about the question, and he was very upset that we landed on that, and he was like, it's not the R word, it's genetic, it's diluting the genetic line. That's what they're upset with.
Yeah.
And
that was my initial thought too, but I don't think that either now.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Well, apparently, I don't know. He wasn't complimentary to any of us, so I don't know what his point was. So, anyway.
He just wanted to be right,
I guess.
But yeah, I mean, I think if you're not thinking about this story as he had wrought folly in Israel, it does say wrought folly in Israel.
Right, and so 7. We started wondering if maybe that was where the implication of it being violent was. And I don't think we've got an answer to that yet. But before we address that question, I did want to point out that issue is defiled.
What is Israel? Huh?
Well, the first thing I want to deal with is that the issue is defiled, but defiled does not mean diluting the bloodline. Because in the Levitical law, and again, Genesis is a precursor of the Levitical law. When
defiled has a definition.
Yeah, well, a body is a temple. A woman's body is a temple. In the Levitical law, when the two individuals have relations, the woman gets sanctified. She's set apart, either for the man or for the role of the mother. And so there's like this kind of temple analogy with it. So when it says defiled her, she was defiled. She was disgraced rather than being sanctified. That's the framing. That doesn't have anything to do with diluting bloodlines.
It has to, it has to do with her. It's like a disrespect thing. It has to do with her presence in the town.
Yeah,
like,
he
her
ruined
stature.
He ruined her honor. That kind of thing, and that gets affirmed here on 31, because their complaint isn't the R word, nor is it defiling the bloodline. Their complaint is, should he deal with our sister as with the harlot? So he had relations with her, then paid her, kind of a thing. So, yeah, the whole theme is disgrace and defilement. That's what they're reacting to. It's not genetic dilution. And yeah, the defiled language is because the body's kind of women are kind of seen as sacred or sanctified and set apart, and the body is seen as a temple. That whole framework is in the word defiled.
Didn't they make him pay them?
Well, do you remember the story?
Did they make Shechem pay them?
Yes, and then they killed the whole family.
Yeah, so they made him pay them, and he was like, "Oh, he treated our sister like a whore. Let's kill him."
Well, he came saying, "I'm actually in love with her, and I want to marry her."
He was doing the right thing.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then
Shechem's awesome, and once again, Jacob and Israel are scumbags.
Well, his kids are some scumbags. Jacob had nothing to do with it. He was like, "You guys are going to get me killed. Everybody's going to think I'm a liar because of you," and that's why they respond with, "Should we deal with our sister as a harlot?" That was their defense for him complaining. So, it may not be the R word that's the issue, and we may have been wrong. Yeah. But the guy in the comments section was also wrong because genetic defilement is not what's on the table here. It's the act of disrespect. And so we looked at it, That's where I'm at right now. If there's something else that I'm overlooking, somebody's more than welcome to say something. But
that came from verse 7, right?
I'm sorry?
It came from verse 7, right?
The defiled verse is verse 2. And then
the wrought folly verse.
The wrought folly.
Yes.
Yes, wrought folly is in 7.
Because it says wrought folly in Israel, which we could interpret as Israel being Jacob. Like it emotionally disturbed him.
It might have made Jacob look foolish. That's the thing. We haven't figured out what that means. But folly is not going to be interpreted as some kind of... The word folly is not going to be interpreted as some kind of genetic thing. That's like tomfoolery, looking stupid, disrespected, that kind of thing. That kind of connotation. So... And plus, it's not going to have Huh?
Go ahead.
And plus, you've got lying with Jacob's daughter. Well, that's the euphemism for sex. So it's like this, whatever this means, wrought folly, was the result of this. So the disrespect comes from the lying. If you understand what I'm saying, it's like, so this is a very difficult thing to say because I'm talking about sentence structure. But the bottom line is folly is not going to have a genetic connotation. It is the result of the act. And I would say probably what it means is that they disrespected the house of Israel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Does somebody else have another interpretation, what they think it means?
I mean, no, I think you're onto something. And I think it doesn't make sense because in today's world, it's not the same. Back then, it was like Israel was... we talk about identity all the time. So like that Israel, Jacob's family was like, they're so attached to their earthly existence, their ego, that it's just such a huge impact when things like that happen. Whereas now we're like, we can separate ourselves from our ego and like, so live through our spirit. Right. But back then it was very like everything was very attached to the earth, very grounded, like because it was like hierarchy back then. That's how everything worked.
Yeah.
And so but now we can rise above that, right? Because the law has been fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so like back in the day, if like they screwed up on the path, it was like a big deal. Like their nation gets upset, like their nation's gone. They can't lose their nation, which right now that's just their family.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal though, because they are a nation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Jacob's main concern was getting overrun. Like if he gets a bad reputation or is seen as weak, like everybody else.
It's like geopolitics. It's geopolitics, but on a small scale.
Right. Yeah. Right. Calix9398 says, "Yo, we back." And then he says, "How's it going, fellas?" It's a going.
All is well.
It's a going. It's going good. Good as it can. So, all right. Before we go back to 38, have we sufficiently answered all the issues with this passage? The guy in the comments section, he quoted Calvin and Luther, and there was one other thing I was going to say.
Appeal to authority.
I guess. I mean, he didn't say what they said, so it's like, well, I asked him to, like, you know.
He's just like name dropping. He's like, oh yeah, Martin Luther? Ever heard of him?
Like, yes, I have. Thank you. So, no, the other thing he said was that Dinah Dinah had daddy issues. That was his intention. And I'm like, dude, you're reading too much into the text here. It just says that
he's trying to justify the actions of Israel is what he's doing.
You think that's what it was? Yeah. Well,
or something. I don't know what he's doing. He's an idiot. Why are we even talking about him?
Well, he had specific things he was saying. I was trying to address them. And I was a little meaner behind the scenes. I was not acting Christian behind the scenes. I'll admit that. But anyway. So, but there's nothing in here as far as I can tell that implies Dinah's got daddy issues. Went out to see the daughters of the land could literally mean anything. Going exploring does not mean being complicit in all their vile activities. You don't have any evidence to make that jump.
No.
At all.
To see the daughters of the land, it's like, what do the women look like? Like,
yeah. Like,
do they have good genes?
Yeah, maybe she's looking for friends. I mean, it's just, it could mean anything. Like, to sit there and say, oh, well, she didn't like her dad. Well, maybe, but that's one among many. Like, why do you think that as opposed to anything else? So, anyhow.
Because Martin Luther, ever heard of him?
Yeah, Martin Luther.
Was he Lutheran?
It was Luther and Calvin was who he cited. I think one of them, maybe both of them, had that interpretation. But I don't see that here. So unless they had like a piece of shard that said Dinah hated her father, I don't know what he's appealing to. So
I think we've thoroughly sussed out
that
34.
subject. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because I wouldn't want people to feel like we've left them ignored or whatever. Ignored. So
I don't care at all.
Huh?
I said I don't care at all.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, moving on, Genesis 38, which is supposed to be what we're getting to last time. So, all right, who wants to take this one?
I got it.
All right.
You want me to read or you want me to lead us in?
We're still on the same episode.
Okay. I didn't know if we're breaking.
No, we're good. So
chapter 38. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned in to a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in unto her. Wow, that's descriptive. And she conceived and bare a son, and called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Chezib when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. Damn. Would that be... I see that it's uppercase, but the word Lord can mean many people. Does that mean God?
Yeah, Lord means God in this context.
Are we sure?
Yes, yeah. Go on, keep reading, because there's a theme here. So yeah, it's God.
And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his, It came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law. Wait, this is between a Canaanite and Judah. God wanted Canaan and Judah to breed. Wild.
Yeah.
Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house. And said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure,
he die also.
He died also that his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. So, okay, I'm going to keep reading. And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died, and Judah was comforted and went up into his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, what wilt thou give me that thou mayest come in unto me? This is a weird story, man.
This is one of those stories that I really, really like because it curb stomps our Christian church's Victorian ethic. It gets better. We'll talk about it when you're done. Or maybe by better, I mean a lot of people would find it more confusing. But anyway, go on.
It's all about genetics right now.
It's not about genetics, but anyway, go on.
17. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet, and thy bracelets, and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it to her. And he came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, there was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, let her take it to her. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her.
It's basically saying let her deal with it. That's what that let her take it to her means. Like, let her grab her own things. It's kind of what I think it's getting at. So, sorry.
The
kid, the goat, because he was going to give her a goat.
Right.
And they were going to trade the goat for the pledge. And then he couldn't find her. So he's like, all right, well, let her deal with it then. I think that's kind of what it's getting at.
Came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, hath played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, bring her forth and let her be burnt, because I hate myself. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, am I with child? She said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet, the bracelets, the staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, she hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass that when she travailed, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out, and she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name will be called Pharez. And afterward came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. This is a very strange story, Gary. Please explain it to me.
So back in the day when a brother died, it was the Jewish custom for another brother to have children in the dead brother's stead. So that was like a cultural thing. So basically, the older brother died, so he was given to the younger brother. The younger brother said, "Oh, sure, I'll do it," and then basically ejaculated out on the ground so she wouldn't get pregnant. And God got mad at that and killed him for that. Now it's important to note, a lot of people use this scripture as it's called onanism. They basically say that because he spilled his seed, therefore it's immoral for men to spill their seed outside of the woman, let's say, or it's immoral for them to masturbate, like that kind of stuff. But that's not what it's getting at. The point of the story is he broke his vow. He said he was going to have children in his brother's name, and he didn't.
Went against God's will.
Yeah, he broke his word. And he lied to Tamar, He basically slept with her for the entertainment rather than doing what he said he was going to do. I think she loved her, and so she was wanting to have kids and to honor her former husband.
Yeah.
So he lied is the issue. And so that happened. And then Judah, seeing that two of his kids were dead, says he's going to give Tamar to the third kid, doesn't. So Tamar tricks Judah into sleeping with her. And you know the rest. She basically calls him out. And so he can't really kill her because he's the one that slept with her. So she got to live and have the kids. And she made her point. And I like this story because Tamar is the good guy in the whole thing. And yet she did something immoral to get the good thing, quote unquote, accomplished, i.e. having children in her first husband's name. She's the more honorable one in the story. And I just find that...
Yeah.
I find that deeply satisfying given the Victorian sentiments of our day. So,
only the church knows what morality is.
Well, obviously, like the superficial reading, or like, it's not, I don't know what the word is. A lot of, basically, let's put it this way. You're not going to read this in Sunday school because we want to have this clean version of morality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, this is just as much in the Bible as Joseph and his coat of pretty colors.
Yeah.
Or many colors, But this is one of those morally complex things. How do you suss out what was right and wrong in that situation? How do you suss out a situation where Esther's basically being forced into this kind of perverted competition, and God uses that for a good? And in the same way, Tamar does something that in normal circumstances would be immoral to honor her husband, which is counterintuitive. You stay loyal to your husband to honor him, but then she turns around and sleeps with another guy to have children in his name, which is honoring him. What's the right and wrong thing to do there? Like, how do you mesh this scripture with the rest of it? It's complicated. It's dicey. It's actually worth talking about, and nobody talks about it. So what makes right and wrong right and wrong? In short, this is an excellent example of there being a distinguishing difference between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. In this case, honor was more important, or I think what the story is saying is honor is more important. The principle of honor is more important than the letter of the law, which is don't have relations outside of marriage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I don't like defining morality as like a sore subject. Like I don't Like if it's outside of God's will, it's not moral.
Do you think there's distinctions between something like the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law? Because I think that's what Christ is saying when he says, "You know the law, but you don't know why it's written."
Yeah.
I think that's what he's getting at.
I think it's like the reason we have the law is to keep people's hearts in control.
What does that mean?
But if the law is written on our hearts, like, I mean, we're going to talk about it more later on, but like I think when your heart rate gets up, like you could feel an emotion, but when your heart rate gets up, specifically when your heart rate gets up and that you feel that emotion while your heart rate's up, you can't. That's bad. I don't think Jesus, like when Jesus was flipping tables, I don't think he was like pissed. I don't think he was like screaming and his heart rate was just going crazy. I think he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was doing it calmly.
You think it was calculated? Okay.
Yeah.
You might be right. I mean, that's a fair interpretation, that he wasn't like emotionally, he wasn't reacting, like there was a calculation to it. Yeah, I could see that.
It was a decision. It was a made decision. Like he may have been angry when he first saw it or whatever, but he calmed that. He didn't act out of anger. It's like, what was the question? I forgot.
Is there a distinction? Do you believe there's a distinction? I guess it's a two-parter, so I'll add another part to it. A, do you believe there is a distinction between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law? Do you think that's what Christ is getting at whenever he talks about, you know the law, but you don't know why it was written? And B, do you think that this story is demonstrating that principle in Genesis 38?
There is a difference in the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. Because, like, the spirit of the law is you're committing murder in your heart when you have evil thoughts. The actual law prevents you, or is there to prevent you from actually doing that. The further you get on your spiritual journey, the less you act out your internal world.
Yeah.
And these people in the Old Testament were at the very beginning of their journey.
Yeah, they're weaning out of a pagan world. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
But I don't know if Genesis 38 is necessarily painting that picture.
What do you think Genesis 38 is painting then?
I like what you said, like literally just that God can use even acts of. I mean, some people could conceive what Tamar did as like vengeful almost. Like she just, but God can still use that in a positive light.
Like, I know what you're saying. I'm not sure I agree with it. But
like a churchian wouldn't, they'd be like, oh, she's a hoe. Like,
Yeah.
I would never. Yeah. Right. But it's like God can use literally anything for good. So
I think it's a good example to delineate the difference between the spirit of the law and the letter of the law, because the letter of the law is don't be a harlot. But why is somebody not supposed to be a harlot? It's to honor a marriage, right? To honor a covenant, to honor the husband, to honor the spouse. Her whole motivation is to honor her spouse by providing children for her first husband. So she's motivated by this. She breaks the law, but she's breaking the law in such a way, in the way that she does, because she's motivated by honoring her husband's memory. And so it's like, in a way, she's upholding.
I don't know
the
if I
principle
agree
of the
with
law.
that.
She's upholding the principle of the law, even though she's violating the letter of it, I guess, if that makes sense. First of all, does that make sense? Then we can discuss whether or not we're agreeing or disagreeing. Okay, so it makes sense, but you disagree. Why?
Forgot.
Okay, well, while you remember it, Trevor, what do you think?
I think you're right. Like, she made a promise, a covenant with her first husband, and she was just simply trying to do what she thought was right.
Oh, I remember. Yes, Trevor. Right. Um, so like when you are, I don't know if it was to honor her husband. Like when like, because your main goal in life is God first, not your spouse first. It's God first. So like God's will is what prevails.
But
So
God wants
if
you to.
Tamar was like,
Sorry, go on.
if Tamar was given these instructions by God somehow or another, okay. But I mean, as long as I think the whole point is to be true to yourself. When you stand in front of God, he's not going to be like, why didn't you honor this person? He's going to be like, why didn't you honor yourself? Like, do what you were supposed to do in my name.
But God's the one who made the rule that says you're supposed to honor your husband. So wouldn't she be honoring God by honoring her husband?
If that's honor, I guess, I don't know. That's like, it's weird. It's weird honor.
It is weird, but that's why I like the story, because it kind of burns our presuppositions. It's like, okay, wait a minute. What's the story actually saying? Like, it's not clean.
Like
it's not simple.
If God's will was for those twins to be born, like, then yeah, that's honor, I guess.
Well, what if his will was just to honor her husband, though? And he was clearly being disrespected by Judah and his brother and his other brother. Like, nobody was respecting her for her first husband's memory because they wouldn't let her have a kid in her husband's name. And she was determined to have a child in her husband's name. So,
doesn't Jesus say, let the dead bury the dead?
Sure, but if that's part of the covenant, that, you know, if that's part of the culture and that's the norm and a way of respecting somebody, and part of your covenant, arguably, is to pass on that lineage, you know, in her mind, she's respecting her covenent by making sure she has children in her name. So, but yes, but at the same time, she does break the letter of the law. She plays the harlot. So,
but Jesus did that too. He broke the letter of the law to prove a point to Pharisees that the spirit of the law was better.
And this is, I think, the point that a lot of Victorian types, because I'm not going to say Puritans, because I don't think it comes from Puritan America. I think it's Victorian era attitudes. They don't seem to want to admit, in my opinion, that the letter of the law is secondary to the principles. Like, God, the way I understand theology is that we do not believe in what would be called like divine command theory. That is to say that God arbitrarily makes up rules. We don't believe that he just makes stuff up, nor do we believe that there is a moral law outside of God and independent of him. Because if there was a moral law outside of God and independent of God, then that moral law, by necessity and definition, becomes God, because God is reacting to it, and therefore it's superior to God. So there can't be a moral law outside of God, because then God ceases to be God. But neither can God just be arbitrarily making up rules, because the morality has no foundation. And so the way C.S. Lewis describes it, and what I believe the traditional understanding of God has always been, is that the law is a description of God's nature. And so whatever the law at the time is, whatever the letter of the law at the time is, you know, don't be a harlot, don't eat this, don't do that. Whatever the rule is, the rule and all rules in some measure are reflective of God's nature. In other words, there is a principle, there is an aspect of God's being and personality that is being described through that particular rule. Does that make sense? And so because the letter of the law's purpose is to uphold a principle that is a description of God, the letter is really secondary to the principle.
I agree. I think you're right.
Cool. Well, hopefully that didn't come out too pretentious. But
No.
good.
Yeah, like when Jesus told the let's see, it was what's his name? The famous Pharisee,
Nicodemus?
Nicodemus. Yeah, he said Moses told us we could write a certificate of divorce for our wives, and he said that's because your hearts were hard
Yeah.
because they've been racing all the time. You got to
Mhm.
slow that heart rate down. So, yeah, they were just emotional monkeys. But yeah, Jesus, he in that story, he literally talks about the spirit of the law is more important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
Okay. Well, do we have any other? That's kind of my main takeaway from this story. And I like it. I like this story. So
Yeah.
just me. I really don't know anything about the very end as far as like the significance of the ribbon, Perez and Zara. I don't know if that goes. To my memory, that doesn't go anywhere in the future. So I don't know what. If it's just a cool story, or if there's something else tied to that story, those verses at the end, the red ribbon and all that. I don't know. So
Yeah. That is what they use to, in Hollywood.
Scarlet
You know,
Thread.
the Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. They both had red ribbons hanging on their doorknobs after they committed suicide.
I didn't know that. Wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. They were both about to start writing or they were filming. They were in the middle of filming a pedophile documentary about Harvey Weinstein, if I remember correctly.
That's really interesting. Anna Hesh died. Right while she was filming a documentary about child trafficking as well.
Yeah.
And that video was terrifying. Did you ever see well, we're getting off topic. That you'll have to look up Anna Hesh's car wreck. It is really sad. So, I don't know, Trevor. Do you know anything about this Scarlet Thread thing? Because I don't.
No, I can try and look something up.
Yeah, can you see if you can Google something really quick and see if there's any interesting details on that?
Come on. After Tamar had given birth to twins, the first child's hand had already been delivered, and the scarlet thread had been tied to it. This is part of what they did.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like really important which one came out first.
Yeah, it was just to tell them which twin came out first.
Yeah,
it was part of the scarlet thing.
I wonder if it was like actually like a big deal which twin came out first back then.
Well, but it might tie into like inheritance, like who got.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it's referring to. Maybe it's explaining why this guy got to continue the family name over somebody else or whatever. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever, when a woman is breech, like during childbirth?
Yeah.
The phrase breech here refers to the unusual way the second child was born.
Yeah, it's a breech birth. So
it broke the normal birth order.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Okay, so, but there's nothing beyond that? Like, we don't need to know anything about the significance of the thread or what Perez and Zara did or...
I'm trying to read on to see if it says anything. It doesn't really.
Okay.
Just got the Rumble notification.
Yeah, because I forgot to press start because I'm an idiot.
Oh.
Oh, okay, here it is. Here it is.
Mm.
The birth of Perez and his twin brother Zerah is recorded in Genesis 38, and Perez would later become an ancestor of King David.
Okay.
And through him, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so this is just mainly tied to the genealogies then. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So this is why it was so important for her to do what she did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you
Nice
go.
dig, Trevor.
Very good, sir. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to wrap that up. I guess next week we'll move on to Genesis 39. And
Next week or right now?
No, we're 45 minutes in, so we're going to move on to Matthew for this week. So, but we'll get into the Genesis 39 next week. So, there you go.
Well done, guys.
Yeah. All right. So let me type in Matthew. I don't remember exactly how many verses it was, but we were on Matthew 5. Oh, Bible Gateway. It's not my fault I misspell words. Don't judge me.
Matthew 5. And seeing the multitudes. Wait, do we want to start a new?
Yeah, Trevor, how about you introduce this?
You guys ready?
Yep.
You-
Wait, hang on. Let me switch over screens here. Now I'm ready.
Okay. Deep breath. Welcome to Faith Fiction and Folklore, or the Try podcast, where we try really hard not to F it up. And this time on this podcast, we're reading Matthew, starting at 5, because we did 4 last week. How are you guys doing, Gary and Cody?
I'm here, man. I'm here.
We're
Gary's
all
here. I'm also here.
Sweet. Let's
But-
adhere to the word.
Oh yeah.
Just one you
what's-
want to read, or you want me to read it?
I can jump in. What are we at?
We're
Matthew
on,
5.
let's see, we had done Peacemakers. We'd had a big conversation about Peacemakers last week. So that would be, and then
This is a Beatitudes.
yeah, and then we finished the two persecuted passages. So I believe,
We got to verse 12.
yes, we got to 12. All right.
What, 3, 4, 12.
So you are reading 13,
Right.
actually.
5:13.
Yeah.
Oh my bad. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have
What does that mean?
What does salt mean?
What
Well,
are,
let me finish the
like when it
verse, bro.
says you are the salt of the earth?
Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. So what do you think that means, Trevor?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. That's why I asked.
I think the
Right.
easiest way to explain this is to say the word groupthink. When you
Hang on a minute. I'm going to buzz out here for a second, but I'll be right back.
all right,
Okay.
when you subject yourself to the world and you say, I'm this, I'm part of this group,
Whoa. Your camera
What?
zoomed way in on you.
Oh, sorry, it has that auto zoom stuff.
Oh.
Or autofocus. So whenever you're part of a group and you're like not thinking for yourself, like Democrat, Republican kind of thing, you're not salty anymore. You are the same as everybody else. You've lost your flavor, right? And so where can you be
Okay.
salted again? Through God. So when you take away that outside stimulus, you get rid of those outside inputs, right? It's input output. When you get rid of that outside input, your saltiness comes from within. It comes from with God.
That makes sense. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, sir. Let's go to 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city is set on a hill, cannot be hid. Light of the world. I kind of feel like that means the same thing.
Yeah, it sounds like the same thing, just different analogy, I guess.
Yeah. So it's like, ye are the light of the world. But when you let other people dim your light, I mean, you know what that means. When you let other people dim your light, you're not.
Hide it under a bushel now.
Yeah.
We should sing that song.
I don't know that song. Oh, this little light of mine?
This little light of mine.
Man, it's been a minute since I heard that song.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I feel like the last time I heard that song was like at church at Grandma's in Missouri. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. Wow.
All right, 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
That would make a really good sermon. I don't know. This is just a random thought I had. You start the sermon and you're like, all right, who's scared of the dark? And you shut off the whole sanctuary. And then you have just a box of like flashlights and you read this passage and then you flip on one big switch there on the stage. And it's like, that's God's light. And then you have a box full of like flashlights and you show the people you are the light of the world. So who wants his light? Because he shares it with you. And you just start passing out flashlights.
All right.
To everybody.
Hello again.
You're back. Welcome back.
Yes, we've got a very loud echo on the stream. So somebody needs to
what?
Put on their headphones. I think.
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
What?
I'm using my phone, dude.
Who's echoing?
It's got to be me.
Yeah. It's probably you. Let me think.
Because I'm not hearing anything.
You're not hearing
an echo? Not on my end. On the live stream?
Yeah, on the live stream. I was one of the things I was doing is checking the live stream. So I'm getting an echo.
You had the echo early on.
Let me check it again. I'll be right back. You guys keep going. Hello, Calix. It's good to see you. Calix says, what? And I just got back. And then Calix says he doesn't hear an echo. So maybe it's just my phone. Maybe it's just me. So let me check again really quick.
All right.
I'll be right back.
We'll move to 16. Okay. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Man, this is a big verse.
Yeah.
Because it talks about doing works.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth between, do you do works for the Father or do you do works for yourself? Or?
Mm-hmm. Man, it's so hard to do good things, like truly good things, and not let your ego take the credit for it. It's so difficult.
Yep.
It's so hard. Yeah, and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Like every time you do something good, you give the credit to God, no matter what.
No matter what.
And it feels uncomfortable to most people.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
Yeah, I've tried it a couple times, and it's like, this feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've never done it before.
The people that you're saying it to, I mean, like it freaks them out. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
They're like, you did such a great job. And you're like, oh, no, it wasn't me. It was God. And they're like, oh.
Okay, you're weird.
Trevor, are you listening to the podcast as well off and on?
Yeah, I've been turning it, like when you guys talk, I'll be listening to YouTube for as long as I can.
That's what's doing it. It's picking up on your microphone. So you'll have to...
through my headset?
Or your microphone, one of the two. So whenever you listen to it, you're going to have to mute your mic or your headset.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good, man. That was what was doing it. Okay, I think we got to figure it out.
That's why I couldn't hear the echo, is because I wasn't talking.
Because it was you. So.
Bet.
The whole time.
Calix says it's fine now.
Nice.
And then Caleb
Well,
says,
we tried
"What?"
not to.
I like this comment before. What is Gary doing now? Now there's an echo.
Wait,
It was me.
Let me just try that.
Okay.
Try what?
Now there should be an echo.
All right.
Oh.
And now it's off.
Cool. Cool.
It's funny. All right, so I'm sorry. Where are we at verse-wise?
17.
17, all right.
Yeah, we're just going through them one at a time.
Okay.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill with one L.
Just
It's
old
that
spelling.
typo.
Old spelling, yeah.
Yeah, fulfill means complete.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Christ came to complete the law and the prophets, not destroy it.
Yeah, I think we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder why people would still want to try to do it better than him. Weird.
Yeah. It's almost like it's almost like they want to be God or something. So
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people argue when Jesus went to leave, he said, "You will do these things and greater."
Yeah.
So they take that a little too far and try and do.
Well, these
more
things
than-
that he's talking about isn't the law. These things is like healings and miracles.
Healings, casting out demons.
yeah, the stuff that Christ is
Healing
referring
the
to at
sick,
the
yeah.
end is like miracles and
Yeah,
the
he
types,
wasn't
the
referring
growth
to
of the
law.
church. Yeah. Yep. So Christ came to complete the law, not get rid of it. So, or replace it.
The next verse has the word fulfilled in it too, but it has two L's.
I'm not going to pretend to understand the spelling rules of 400 years ago or whatever it was.
Pretty interesting. 1888, I think, was when this was canonized, but I don't know.
1888? No. It's way older than that. So.
Canonized? The 66 books?
Yeah, like they were canonized long time ago.
What does that mean, canonized?
Like
Put in order.
considered the official part of the Bible, yeah. No, I believe depending on who you listen to, like the Council of Nicaea is when everything got canonized. It's just people have
Was
argued
it
back and forth about the
1666?
Apocrypha.
That's what it was. It was six. I got the numbers wrong. 1666.
Yeah, let me just Google it. I think you're right, but let me just Google it to be sure really quick.
That's a lot of sixes.
Okay.
Illuminati
When
confirmed.
was the
Ooh. The eye of the
KJV
beholder.
written?
You got the 1611 KJV, and then you got, I think, this
1604. So you were close, but 1604. So it's been around for a while. Yep.
I think the internet changes constantly, dude.
No, that's. I knew it was the 1600s, so I knew you're right. I didn't know it was 1604, but yeah, because the King James Bible, like it started the Enlightenment, and it kind of killed the theocratic monarchy, because Protestants all of a sudden had access to the Bible in English, because you had the Gutenberg and you had other versions before, but this was like the most popular and main English translation, and people started studying it for themselves, and it kind of, it destroyed the legitimacy of the theocratic monarchy, because you read the Bible, it's like there ain't nothing about kings being appointed by God in here. I mean, they did it for David, but that doesn't mean you get to,
Yeah.
And so, and that's why there's like all this. That's why the guys back in the 1800s wanted to get rid of the KJV too, because they went from like, okay, there's no such thing as divine authority to like, there's no such thing as God. And so they wanted to make the Bible seem inconsistent, or they wanted to get rid of the idea of sola scriptura. And the whole point was just to undermine religion and God, because undermining God was the same as undermining the king in Europe. Now, Protestants, they read the Bible. They thought the Bible was inerrant. They thought the Bible had they believed in sola scriptura. And so we had this idea of codifying things into law, and the law is meant to reflect the principles of God. This is kind of like the basis for an inalienable right. Like the 10 Commandments, if you invert them, are actually the rights of men because they're reflections of the principles of God. They're reflections of how, what God has made men for and what God has meant men to enjoy. Like, but like the law is meant to describe and codify God's principles and his ideals. So we have a very different Enlightenment tradition than Europe. Europe didn't have that. Europe had the will of the king is the will of God. And so it's a whole can of worms. But anyway. So yes, but the 1604 makes sense because the King James helped kick off a lot of the reformations and changes in government, let's say. So
I just felt like I remembered hearing it was like it was a weird number, like 1666 or something. What was in 1888? There was something happened.
Probably Westcott and Hort, who are Satan.
That may be it.
Yeah,
let
me look that up. Let me see if that, because I've ranted about Westcott and Hort before. I think that might be what you're talking about. When did the Revised Standard Edition of the Bible come out? No, that ain't it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm an idiot. You could just say things sometimes.
When did Westcott and Hort's? If it's not the Revised Standard Edition, then what it's called? Westcott and Hort's New Testament come out? 1881.
Huh.
Westcott and Hort's Greek New Testament came out in 1881. Remember,
there's a lot of sketchy stuff that happened in 1880.
Yeah. Nothing good came out of the 1800s.
So, all the dinosaur crap, all of it. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. So.
All right. We're going to go to 18.
18. Okay.
It's kind of a continuation, so I'm going to reread 17.
All right.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I'm not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
This is 100%. One of the this is one of the defenses for sola scriptura, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So he's talking about himself.
So we shall break one of these commandments and shall... Okay, let me look at this a little closely. Apologize, I spaced out for a minute. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men, so he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah. So don't teach children evil shit, or you're going to not have a good time.
Well, this is also one of the verses that suggests a pecking order in heaven. Heaven is not a place of equity. I've maintained once saved, always saved, and that is to say your works don't get you into heaven, but your works do determine your role in heaven, your ranking in heaven. This would be one of the verses that suggests that. So.
Yeah. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. So we just have to be better than Pharisees? Is that what it's saying?
Well, you got to remember that they perceived the Pharisees to be the pinnacle of righteousness. And so it's like, unless you are the best of the best of the best, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Oh.
Now, this is laying the groundwork for salvation.
No, this is a psychological thing. Because when you compare yourself to people, you go down. He's
telling people they're all a bunch of vile degenerates, and none of them are going to get righteousness. Yeah. You can't fulfill the law.
No.
That's what he's getting at. But yes, you are right. It is a psychological thing, yeah.
So when people say they have righteous anger, it's like, no, you
That's
don't.
bullshit.
So
Explain, Gary. Can you explain? You look like you want to say something. Can you explain righteous anger to me?
anger over a just cause. Like if somebody's beating the crap out of a old lady and you get angry and indignant for the sake of that old lady and then beat the crap out of the man beating the lady, then that's righteous anger.
Why don't you just stop him and not get angry?
Because you feel empathy for another human being, and that empathy causes you to get angry and want to defend them.
But Jesus would feel empathy for both people.
That's probably true, but he would probably still beat the crap out of the guy and save the old lady.
He would stop him, probably have a conversation with him.
You can't nicely stop people when they're that violent. They'd be like, dude, get off me. I'm going to teach this lady what for. And he's going to have to put him down. He's going to have to put him down.
But people who beat people with anger, that's not good. Those people go to jail. I
think we disagree on this point. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think that every emotion, everything has a purpose and a right way it's supposed to be used. And a wrong way it's supposed to be used. Nothing is inherently evil for its own sake or in and of itself. There is a right way to use anger and a wrong way to use anger. Same thing for happiness, joy, and everything else.
A person who is defending someone is not going to beat that other person to a bloody pulp. A person who's angry is going to beat that person to a bloody pulp.
Yes, and that's probably should.
No.
Yes, they should.
You stop them. You stop. It's not your job to fix everybody. You stop what they're doing and you let God handle the rest.
Well, you may also make sure they can't do it again, because if you don't do a thorough job...
No, that's your will. That's not God's will.
Yeah, it's God's will. Well, yes, of course it is. You can't allow people to do evil again.
You're like, oh, well, I'll break his legs and one vertebrae because that's probably God's will.
Calix says, the only time I'm angry is when I'm honest, LOL. That's kind of how I feel sometimes. I'm like, I never let my true self out because I'm very angry. So,
yep.
I'll give you an example. Like, once upon a time, there was a kid bullying my little brother on the bus, right? Now, me being a child and recognizing the need to defend my little brother, I got up and I didn't beat the kid to a pulp, but I screamed in his face and, made a big scene in front of everybody. And I did it because I was angry. My anger fueled my resolve to fix the problem and sent that kid a very clear message: don't mess with my little brother. And that guy never messed with my little brother again. So, in fact, they were almost kind of tiptoed around me every time they saw me looking at them when they were talking to my brother. So
they had fear of you?
Yes.
Do you think they would have fear of Jesus if he fixed the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think they would be comfortable in talking to him?
Well, think about the end times. When Jesus comes back, there's going to be weeping and wailing. People are going to realize they were wrong.
Right. But you said you corrected him righteously, so he was like, right?
Righteous is not the same thing as positive human emotion, though. Righteousness is right and wrong. Doesn't mean, you have a cathartic experience. It means you fix a problem.
Sorry, I heard a weird noise. I don't know what you're saying.
Well, a second ago, it sounded like when you said righteousness, you were meaning like positive emotions in some capacity. And I was like, no, you can still have somebody scared or upset, and you can still leave somebody scared and upset, but still do the right thing. Like, it's not contingent on feelings.
I think a righteous correction would be a correct or a complete correction. They wouldn't feel guilt after the correction. They would be like, yes, I understand what I did wrong and how I need to change it. There's no guilt in that. Guilt comes when you don't understand what you did wrong. You can't fully understand it.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I do feel like guilt is amoral. Like, there's going to be times it's appropriate and times it's not appropriate. And the whole thing is, though, whatever you're feeling, it needs to be motivating you to change.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say.
That's all right.
Oh, righteous, like a righteous correction. I think I already said it. I don't know. I don't feel like somebody would be scared of Jesus after he corrected them.
Not always, but there are
Like,
going
if
to be
they're
times where he needs
if
to
you
scare
double down,
somebody, and then there's going to be times where he's going to be gentle. Like he, again, yelling at the priests and calling them names versus, picking up the prostitute or protecting the prostitute and saying, go and sin no more. Like the way he dealt with situations, like it depended on the circumstances. It depended on who he was talking to. You are right that his motivation was always to prompt a change, but he took different approaches. So sometimes anger is appropriate. Sometimes it's not.
What the heart of the person looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That's such a difficult conversation, the righteous anger thing. Because I just man, if your heart's beating fast, you can't make a good rational decision. I don't think.
Yeah, but sometimes the Almighty uses that passion. This kind of gets into providence. Sometimes you're supposed to react in a certain fashion, and the Almighty uses that to accomplish his own ends. That's not going to happen every time, but
right.
There are instances where, that might
When
be
you say
what's required.
Yeah. He would be, I guess he would be using, so like God could use an emotionally reactive person, but they would grow from that experience and they would be less emotionally reactive after that.
I mean, possibly if they don't need to be emotionally reactive, but yeah.
Because I just I just don't think that Jesus is the standard, not the standard, the goal, right?
Yeah.
We all want to reach that level of adeptness, and so I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Calix says, the only time I'm angry is when I have to use facts and logic against someone acting stupid. Yeah, normally because they don't listen. I hear you. So, our fight or flight response. Right.
Or freeze.
Yeah, I don't think you can make a rational decision with that. Maybe God can use whatever outcome happens.
Well, what if an emotion sharpens you? Like maybe some people maybe what we're describing is, and I don't know. I'm just throwing a hypothetical. Maybe what we're describing is a moral deduction based on our own experience. Maybe we get chaotic whenever we're emotional, but maybe if somebody gets angry, they get really clear. Now, if somebody gets really clear when they're angry, should they be angry and so they can reach that clarity to fix a problem?
Say the last part again.
What if somebody needs to be angry so they can gain the clarity to fix a problem?
Who do you know that gets more clear when they get angry?
I don't know anybody off the top of my head, but I'm not going to sit there and say it's impossible.
That sounds like crazy talk.
Getting clear whenever you're angry?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'll say this. There have been times when I've been getting angry and it's kind of motivated me to get super sharp and focused.
Yeah, but you have to stop being angry to do that.
No, you don't.
Bullshit.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's absolutely possible.
If your heart's racing, you can't be sharp and focused.
Okay, well, what about getting angry and working out harder?
I think it's demonic.
That's not demonic. That's accomplishing a goal. Yeah, I've done it too.
It was part of my life.
I've done it too, and it gets a lot of stress out. It didn't create an ego for me.
Well,
I'm arrogant for completely unrelated reasons, but it didn't. That aspect wasn't arrogant.
I don't know, man. I don't. Anger hardens your heart. The more your heart races and pumps, more it does that, the harder it gets. Because like a muscle, right?
Yeah.
The more you work that muscle out, the harder it gets.
Yeah,
your heart is the same thing.
Between being like strong and becoming stone. Like you're talking about being brittle.
No, there's not. Like, dude, when you pay attention to muscles, like different people's muscles, like I have a friend that's younger than me.
Yeah.
He can't curl as much as me, but he has way bigger biceps.
Yeah.
It's because my muscles are harder. They're denser. Like
Yeah.
a heart. A heart can do that too.
Yeah. I don't
So
think
if
that's a
your
bad
heart-
thing. Your body's designed to
Well,
work that
shit.
way.
No, because your heart's a pump. It collapses in on
It's
itself.
stronger. Like making it harder
No.
and more dense would make it more durable.
Then why does Jesus talk about hard hearts being bad?
Because it's stone. It's numbing out. It's numbing out. It's literally not feeling anything at all, being cold, not reacting to other people.
I think you're wrong. Because those bodybuilders, like if you pay attention to bodybuilders, like the golden era bodybuilders, Arnold and stuff, like they all have heart issues.
Yeah, well,
And,
that's
you know,
because
that's from steroids, but they were abusing their muscle growth.
it's
Like,
not. The steroids are the problem, dude. It's unearned muscle. It's unearned results, and it's like pushing past what your body's designed to do. Because people do the same thing with bulls. Like if you have a breeding bull that's like all muscular or whatever, that thing's gonna die before all the other animals because
Why?
it's a genetic mutation. It's a freak, and it's not going to survive as long
That's a
as the
vague
ones that have
answer.
reached the mean.
It's a vague answer.
Yeah,
it's because its heart is hard. Its heart is overworking
But
itself.
that's rooted in hormones and like it's not connected to emotion and anger and all the other stuff. That stuff might be an outcropping of hormones that are already present. But the problem is you're injecting synthetic hormones into the body and it's destroying everything. And
not the
basically the anger is a consequence of that. The swollen heart is a consequence of that. But you get really pretty cows. So, but that's why those steroided guys die so early is because they're pumping themselves with bull hormone. And therefore they look like bulls.
It's not bull hormone.
There are literally instances where they were using, at least at one point in time, they were using like human cow growth hormone. So the same crap my dad would use. It's the 90s. I don't know how long it went. But the same crap.
90s?
Yeah, it's like the same crap that my dad was using for cows.
Okay, I can see that
They were using for the bodybuilders.
I think it was 92. Biden actually made steroids, like designer steroids, like a lot of them that people were using illegal. Like he's the one that did it. Biden did
Was
it
it
when he was a
Biden?
senator. Yeah.
You'd think he would have been more buff then, but anyway. Hang on just a sec. Calix says, you can look at a picture of a tiger showing its teeth, and it can trigger your fight or flight response. Yes, and it would be a good idea to run from the tiger. You don't need a lot of deduction on that score. Reaction would be preferable in that situation, I would say.
Or freeze.
Well, if you freeze, you're dead.
If you're running away from a tiger, you're also dead.
Not if you find a tree first.
Tigers can't climb trees.
And not if I run faster than you.
They can do 50. You're crazy. No, dude. Hard hearts are bad for you. They're not good. I'm sticking to
everything
that.
has a mean. Everything has a mean. It has a range it's supposed to exist in. It is not a fair analogy to
When you
say.
elevate
It is not a fair analogy
normal,
to say
that's
anger. It is not a fair analogy to say anger is bad in every circumstance by comparing bodybuilders who injected like 30 cc's or whatever it is of testosterone and cow hormone. Like that's not equivalent. That's not equivalent because they're literally pumping themselves up with a bunch of hormones and fake crap.
Example. It's just an example so you can see the picture.
But they're not parallel. Your example is not parallel of what you're talking about. I'm saying you can use anger to motivate you into an action, and therefore anger is not always morally bad. That's my claim. You're saying nuh-uh because if you inject yourself with a bunch of hormones, your heart's going to explode in your chest, and therefore anger is bad. And I'm like, those have nothing to do with each other.
Your heart wears out before the rest of your body does.
Yes, because you've pumped a bunch of crap in your chest that's going to kill
Right, but
you.
if you do the same thing with, like, you could do that with anger. You could go to the gym every day and get angry as fuck and just work out super hard and work your heart too much. Like, you can literally do that.
But that's
it's
why
demonic
that's
to me.
why I keep calling back to a meme or a mean. A mean is like a middle ground. Like there's a time to like
I agree with you.
No, Ecclesiastes says there's a season for everything under the sun. I guess we're calling back to Ecclesiastes then.
You just said middle path.
Yeah, we could say middle path. I think that's fine. But anger, there is a time for love and there is a time for hate. There is a time to reap. There is a time to sow. There is a time for war. There is a time for peace. That's Ecclesiastes. Things have seasons, and you have to be cognizant of the season or the situation you are in. And you have to evaluate what the right response is. Sometimes anger is going to be appropriate, sometimes not.
There's not one time in my entire life that anger has helped me.
It's helped me. But we're just appealing to anecdote. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's helped me, but I don't know. Maybe it hasn't helped you. Trevor, has it helped you?
Anger?
Yes, the dark side. I'm kidding. Anger.
I don't know. I just keep wanting to ask you all the question about when the Hulk said that he's always angry. Does that make him right or wrong?
About what?
Well, he had it figured out. You know, he's people would ask him, you know, how do you keep it in check? Because he figured out how to keep it in check, and he was like that mic drop part where he punches the big alien. He's like, I'm always angry.
It's a great superhero line, but it's kind of funny when you stop and think about it, because I just picture him like screaming at his mother in his head all the time, you know? Like just like this really petty, bitter person just walking around mumbling all the time. So
yeah. I just don't think it's good to be there at all. I mean, it's whatever.
All right, well, okay, if it's wrong to be angry, anger is
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Then what are you saying? Because I've been sitting here thinking you're talking about being mad about.
It's not conducive to the will of the Father.
What does that mean?
Anger cannot help you achieve what God wants you to achieve.
Okay, so are you saying it's unproductive?
Yes.
Then why did Christ get angry?
I don't think he wanted to get angry. I think he calmed himself before he went and flipped the tables. I don't think he did that with his heart racing. I think he had a calm, calculated plan, and he wanted to get rid of all the animal sacrifice in his Father's house.
Is it a sin to make other people angry?
Yeah.
If it's a sin to make other people angry, then why did Jesus call the Gentile woman a dog?
Yeah, because sometimes if you...
What?
Yeah, there's a story in the Gospels where Christ says I don't remember the exact terminology, the food for Israel or the gift of Israel is not meant for the dogs. He says that to I think a Samaritan woman. Huh?
Even the dogs eat the crumbs.
Yeah, and then she responds, even the dogs eat the scraps from the table.
So she accepted what he said. He wasn't angry.
Yeah, but he could have made her angry. I mean, if I got called a dog, I'd have been angry.
But she knew what she was. He knew her heart.
If it's a sin to make somebody angry, then why did Christ risk making her angry by literally calling her a name?
Christ knew her heart.
Okay, we could make that argument. Well, then why did he make the Pharisees angry?
Because they're demons.
So it's okay to make bad people who we equivocate with demons angry.
No, we don't equivocate the people to demons. The demons are inside the people. We're making the demons angry so they come out. We can get them out.
Well, I don't think every Pharisee was literally possessed.
You don't think, though? I think we're all, every single person.
Okay, based on what?
We need to call Bob Larson for this.
Based on what?
Why do you think that everybody in the world is possessed? You're basically describing the fallen nature, but calling it demons instead.
Yeah, it's what Jesus said. Our thoughts are not our own.
I don't think he said that.
We battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of air.
That's Paul, your favorite author.
Okay, cool. We're not fighting actual people anymore. That was Old Testament shit. Now we're fighting parasites that affect thoughts in our head.
Well, I wouldn't make a delineation between the Old Testament and the New Testament, first of all, but...
A what?
A delineation, like I wouldn't separate old and new like they're different and have different rule sets. Like
they're
sets
absolutely, like, what? It's the physical law versus the spiritual law.
No, I don't think that's what the Old Testament and the New Testament are getting at.
So you think you're supposed to follow the law?
No, I think the law has been completed. The Levitical law has been completed. That's what gets us back to
I don't
Matthew
know what you're-
5. Okay,
know what you're
when Christ died on the cross, he finished the sacrificial system, and he paid for all the sins because it was evident by that point, and it was supposed to be evident all along, that the Levitical law didn't work. Like, it was insufficient. Men couldn't follow it because man can't follow God's rules in any circumstance. So when he died and paid for everyone's sins, sin is no longer on the board, and the Levitical law has been completed because Christ was the final sacrifice. And that's what he meant. He meant that since he was the law's purpose, as Paul explains it, is to reveal how flawed and awful we are and to show that we can't make it. And once we understand that, then we understand why Christ died on the cross for sin, for every man's sin, every sin that ever was and every sin that ever will be. He did that because the law is impossible to fulfill. And a lot of what I think Christ is doing, like when we get to committing adultery in your heart and being angry at your brother without a cause, when we get to that section in 5, I think what he's talking about is he's taking it and he's saying, okay, you understand this from the context of the Levitical law, but even more broadly, even ethically, you can't hold this standard because who hasn't been angry at a brother without a cause? Who hasn't looked at a woman of lust? Everybody sins. Everybody breaks the law. The law is impossible to fulfill. That's why I paid for all of it. So I completely went on a tangent, and I don't remember what my original point was. But
you're saying the Old Testament and the New Testament, there's not a delineation.
One is building on top of the other. Think of it like a cumulative case.
Yeah, but I think people's, like, when Jesus says, Moses wrote you this law because your hearts were hard, Jesus gave us the ability to have soft hearts. He gave us that.
Mm-hmm.
Like forgiveness. He gave us forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like the Old Testament went from a physical realm where you had to pay for your sins with animal sacrifice or whatever. Like that's a physical, everything you do is in reality. Whereas now we're allowed to be spiritually forgiven, and we don't like our I don't remember what I was trying to say.
Oh,
like there's definitely like it's black and white, man. He definitely changed some things. I don't know why you're saying he didn't.
he did change things. So what do you mean?
You said there's not a delineation between the Old and New Testament. Like it went from physical to spiritual. Like it went from the letter of the law to the spirit of the law.
Well, delineation suggests, or at least the way I felt what you were saying was earlier, I felt you were saying that there's like a split between the old and the new. And I'm going, no, there's not a split between those two. It's a cumulative case. And then because of, like, the New Testament is a transition from the Old Testament, but that doesn't mean they're unconnected, and that doesn't mean the Old Testament is irrelevant. Like, again, it's like a lawyer making a case study, or like a judge writing like a refutation of a ruling.
Yeah, the Old Testament is case law.
Yeah, but the whole thing's case law. Like, it's one logical through line.
You don't think Jesus brings in a little bit of?
In other words, nothing in the Old Testament has been undermined or made irrelevant by Christ.
Animal sacrifice.
Because that was a shadow of what Christ was going to do all along.
Yeah,
like,
but he's
still Okay, fair enough. We don't do animal sacrifices anymore. But why?
Because that was a physical way to pay for your sins, and he gave us forgiveness.
It was never doing anything at all. Like, that's the whole point of Genesis 1. Genesis 1 is the first prophecy of the Messiah. Now, this is the way I was taught. This might be more dispensationalist. I think that's the right term. But the way I was taught how this works is that Christ, like, everybody from the beginning knew that God was going to pay for sin, or there was going to be a redeemer at some point. That's the point or the purpose behind Genesis 3, when God makes that prophecy about the seed of the woman crushing the head of the serpent. Because remember, what predates that? Adam and Eve get physical skin, like animal skins, meaning that something had to die for their sin, for their initial sin. And after they receive that skin, then the prophecy of the seed of the woman crushing the head of the serpent comes into play. It's all part of the same story. So that's the first messianic prophecy, right? And then Cain and Abel come in, and you see sacrifices as normal. And then that gets systematized in the Levitical law. And then after so long of it getting systematized, then God, through the major prophets, says, I don't care about sacrifice. I care about obedience, because they're missing the point. And then all of that leads up to Christ being the final sacrifice. But the point is, the Messiah, the Jews, maybe a reductive or a simplistic way might be to say that the Jews believed that the Messiah was going to come and save them from their sins. And we believe that the Messiah has already came and paid for our sins. Like, that would be the difference. But the Jews were looking forward and we're looking back. That would be the only difference. But it's all leading to the same thing. Does that make sense?
It does, but I think the Jews are just stuck in the physical world. They're like, kind of like Judas. Judas thought that Jesus was going to bring down the kingdom. Like, boom! Like, he was going to pop off the cross and just, pull some magic Jesus stuff. Mm-hmm. That's why he killed himself after Jesus died. He was like, oh, I fucked up. Mm-hmm. So, like the Jews are stuck in that state. Like, the generation always asks for a sign. They want real physical proof that everything's okay. And Jesus is like, everything's okay. And they're like, no, I need proof. Right? That's what's going on. They're stuck in reality. They're not in the spirit.
Okay, well, that may or may not be, but what does that have to do with the relevance of the Old Testament and the New Testament and their relation to each other?
I don't know the question.
Well, my whole point in bringing all of that up is that, as I'm basically saying, the Old Testament and the New Testament are connected. They're a cumulative case, there's a through line. You are right to say that, yeah, okay, we don't do animal sacrifices anymore. But the principles of God are still the same. And God was always telling the Jews that he was going to pay for their sins. Like, God has not changed, and his rules have not changed. And so, therefore, the Old Testament and the New Testament build on top of each other and are linked. And I don't like that we try to split them off, because some churches go as far as to not preach on the Old Testament at all. I think that's a big mistake, because then you don't understand, like, the concept of a covenant, which is very important if you're going to understand Christianity and what salvation means. You do need to have an understanding of, like, covenants and the difference between the Abrahamic covenant and Levitical covenant. Not that information is going to save you, but if you want to understand what's happening mechanically, you do need to know those things. So,
sure. So if you're autistic, the Old Testament's cool.
That might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me. So,
it's important, because I think the Old Testament shows like clear-cut bad behavior in the physical, and you can really like look at it. Whereas now it's like, it's all spiritual. It's all thoughts. It's all like, you can't see it. It's it's hidden. Mm-hmm. It's for those with eyes to see. It's much more nuanced.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we have covered 10 verses, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're about 45 minutes in, so we need to move on.
Let's do it.
We started at 13. Let me find out where we were. So we weren't on 21. Okay, I think we stopped at
we stopped
at
at
20. We stopped at 20.
Yeah, it was 21.
So we read a whopping 7 verses in 45 minutes.
Wow.
We are booking. Okay.
Well, it is gospel, so.
Yes, Beatitudes, man. So
It's a deep dive.
yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on.
Ooh,
On to the next
quick
subject.
note. We were reading page 933 in my Bible, just so you know.
Oh, sweet. Oh, man. All right. So I guess next we're talking about aliens again, huh? Sorry, I'm checking our numbers here really quick. All right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so do you want to lead in, or do you want me to lead in, or who wants to lead in?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Aliens and who released the alien stuff?
Perry, crap. I literally was just looking at his name. Perry Stone?
Perry Stone.
All right, we'll see you in a minute, Calix. Charismatic preacher.
Oh, Perry Stone. Stoneheart. See that?
Yep. See what you did there.
All right. Hey, welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up, which we've done already today.
Yep.
Because we had an echo, and now we're having echoes of aliens, because Perry Stone, some weird, hard-hearted preacher, is talking about aliens. And that's ridiculous, because there's no aliens in the Bible. So I don't know what else to say, Gary. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm all right. How are you?
Pretty good.
There were aliens in the Bible.
Where?
They were the Nephilim.
Those aren't aliens. They're demons.
Exactly.
They're all demons. It's all demons.
Demons in the CIA.
And the CIA.
Any three-letter organization.
Yeah. So, okay, last week we talked about this a little bit, but because I didn't have it, like, access to OBS and all that, we kind of just spoke about whether or not the existence of aliens would hypothetically affect Christians' faith. I think we decided it wouldn't make any difference at all. So this week we're basically going to talk about what actually happened. And what happened is basically this guy, Perry Stone, came out with this dramatic announcement, and he's like, I went to a government meeting, or I knew a guy that went to a government meeting. I'm not going to get this right, but it's okay. We have Mike Winger will play his statement here in a minute. But he's like, I went to a government meeting, and they're saying churches need to prepare because there's going to be a great falling away. Because they're going to talk about the aliens are coming, and, Christians are going to give up on God and all this. And then all of a sudden, these other preachers dogpile on what Perry Stone says and go, yeah, we were there. We heard the whole thing. They said that. And then it blew up. And apparently they can get away with this crap in their churches. That's kind of Mike Winger's theory, is they can get away with this kind of over-exaggerating what actually happened. Yep. But once it got viral, then people started looking, and the first hint of trouble was a senator from they'd said a senator from Missouri had given them the speech to warn their people, and then the senator was like, "I never said any of that," and then they were like, "Oh, well, I mean, I'm sorry, that's what I thought you said," and that was the deal, and hilarity ensued. So let me just start off with Mike Winger's, I think this is right. No, this is my face palming video. Hang on. Here we go. So Mike Winger's...
You're going to pull up a video of Mike Wiener?
Stop it. We just read the Bible.
Oh, sorry.
Grow up. How dare you? All right. Hang on here.
It's a great joke. I know I've told it before, but
you have.
Mike Wiener's hilarious.
Mike Winger is Mike Winger. So. All right, here we go. I'm sorry, I just have to fix OBS. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. So just if you want to watch the video for yourself, because we're not going to play the whole thing, it's how a few charismatic pastors went viral with deception. And I didn't know anybody else who'd actually done the deep dive on what actually happened, because I don't know anything about the charismatic world. I don't.
Just screw up your camera for a second.
That's all right. We had that whole conversation about Biggs, and that was it. So yeah. But here is Mike Winger, and I think he's going to play Perry Stone's statement here.
The topic.
But there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft, that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors,
hang on, sorry.
You need to prepare your people and you need to get...
What'd you say, Cody?
This guy's exhausting. He's lying. He's full of shit.
Well,
He's
it's easy to say that in hindsight, Cody.
I could have said it in force. He's wearing a fucking Affliction button-up shirt.
All right, okay.
I mean, come on.
Okay, is that the only tell? His button-up shirt? Okay.
All his references are vague. He's like, oh, a certain person from a certain state said a certain thing about something or another, and it's really scary. It's like, shut up.
That's exactly what Mike Winger points out. Later on, he says the exact same thing. He says, okay, if you meet with the president or you meet with a bunch of people, you name drop. You say president. You say senator. You don't go, I met with a bunch of government leaders. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but they're a big deal.
He doesn't have any names in his head.
Exactly. He's like...
He's just full of shit.
Yeah.
I hate him.
You hate him.
I don't hate him.
Okay, it's righteous hate. So... Sorry. Calix says, I mean religious leaders. So... All right, here we go.
Ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures. And other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book.
Now
I just want to point out, and it's just because I've been doing all this research for the Vi Project. It wasn't Orson Welles. It was H.G. Wells. Anybody could make a mistake, but I just wanted to point that out. It's H.G. Wells, not Orson Welles, just so we're clear. Anyway, sorry. Go on, Cody. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm just writhing in misery.
Misery?
Dude, I can't listen to this guy. He's like, he's just like spewing shit. I can't.
Well, everybody took this really serious at the beginning of the week.
Really?
Yes, they did. I don't know why. I mean, if I'd known it was this crowd, I probably wouldn't have. But at the beginning, I was going, what, really? Because I didn't know it was this charismatic bunch. Yes, I see the shirt. Oh, he's got a fancy Okay, what about the shirt? You're more offended about the shirt than the aliens. What about this shirt that offends you?
Shirt. He's like, oh, look how cool my shoulders look. This guy's not even married because his wife wouldn't let him out of the house in that shit. That's ridiculous.
He's like that.
The whole dude, his whole everything screams, I'm fake.
Calix says, I don't trust a guy wearing an Ed Hardy shirt.
Yeah, my sentiments exactly.
Oh, man. Well, Trevor, what do you think?
About what?
Is the shirt as offensive to you as it is to Cody and Calix?
I like his shirt, but I wouldn't wear it.
You should get made fun of by your cousin.
Probably.
That's what men are for, man. We give each other pressure.
There we go. Yeah. Keep each other accountable and prevent the wearing of acid-stained jeans.
Unless it was real acid that you spilled on him that day.
Yes, unless you earned it with a chemical burn. Then you can wear the jeans.
So was this the original video that was released that made people believe that?
Yes,
he's a preacher?
this is the first one. Yeah, it's Mike Winger
This is
playing
nuts.
the first one. Yeah, I can't believe it.
Like the
these guys,
background stuff, like, oh my. This is
Yeah.
clearly a deception.
Yeah, no, like first listening to it without thinking about it, I'm like, this guy's like, there's, yeah, no, he didn't make sense, and there was nothing that would, like, I don't believe him.
Yeah. He's seeding
straight
it.
up.
He's like, oh, look at this vague idea. It's probably real.
top men.
Top men.
Yeah, I spoke to top men.
Like this is one of those videos I would have been like, yeah, I'm gonna research this myself and probably find nothing.
Yeah, because a lot of people have claimed this. What's different though is everybody dogpiled on this and went, "Oh yeah, I was there too." So
It's just so low level. Like this is just,
mhm.
I don't even have to try to see the deception in this.
Yeah.
And like, so this guy's a pastor, a leader of, like, how big is his church?
I don't know how big it is. We'll look it up. But he's leader of a charismatic movement. He's kind of in the Kenneth Copeland type circles, prophecy circles.
Tell me he's in Tulsa.
We'll see. Let me look that up. I'm going to laugh hysterically. We're going to his church if he's in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, let's see here. Perry Stone church size and location.
Let's try to tag him in this video when we post it.
Just so he can know how much you hate that shirt.
Yep.
All right, Evangelist Perry Stone. All right, we're going to AI again. Evangelist Perry Stone's main ministry. Base operates from a 70,000 square. Well, that's not what I asked, guys. What's the size of his denomination or congregation, and where is he from?
70,000 square feet.
Yeah,
So-
they're just going. Okay, so Cleveland, Tennessee, 3,000 seat auditorium. Yeah, so it's a charismatic church out of Tennessee.
I've driven to Tennessee a few times. We could do that.
Oh yeah, we can make it. I've been there once.
I bet he won't talk to anybody though.
Oh no, we'll get kicked out.
But
We'll
he's
get,
like
you remember when Benny
he's like
Hinn?
Taylor Swift. He disappears behind backstage.
Right. Remember Benny
Does
Hinn
the
ran over
cinematic
that guy
ritual.
with a golf cart?
Yeah.
You remember that? We're gonna get
Did he
hit
heal
by
him
a
after?
golf cart. Will that make us go viral finally? So I'll do
I don't
it.
want to go viral. That sounds yucky.
I'll do it for the clicks and the laughs. Why not? Maybe we can steal a shirt. So
I don't even believe in viruses, Gary.
viral. Okay.
Computer viruses. I guess so. Yeah, viral is a proper term for a computer, but not for a human,
There you go.
in my opinion.
It's just a bit of broken RNA or mutated.
So would
RNA.
you say you would want to go antiviral?
Okay,
Yes.
we're chasing a rabbit right now. Viral, antiviral.
Indeed.
It's all aliens. So, which are all CIA. So anyway, this is Perry Stone, charismatic Cleveland, Tennessee, big church, big audience. So yeah, and he's
So
got
the
a
Beta.
TV show.
CIA, did the CIA pay this guy?
Yes,
Probably.
100%. They paid him to make this video.
I
But-
know that sounds absurd, and we say that as a joke, but I honestly do wonder how this charismatic.
I wasn't
movement,
joking at all.
Well, I usually am joking, but you're not joking. Okay, I think it's a perfectly decent explanation because I don't have a better one. I'm like, how in the world do these guys have so much money? I mean, they have taken
he
over
doesn't know that
TBN,
the
they have
CIA
taken
is-
over Daystar. Like, these guys run the charismatic movement. How is that possible?
Well,
Because
go ahead.
the CIA, I don't think, this guy doesn't know the CIA's paying him. The
Right.
devil is funding
Okay.
his church, right? It's not I'm not even sure it's systematic in the real world. It's systematic demonically. Satan tells these people what to do and where to send money and stuff. It's not like people are doing it. I don't believe that. I think Satan is doing it. So like Satan tricks these people to going into his church to fund this, and so he becomes an ideologue. Like, it's literally that.
I don't know if I buy that, but I understand what you mean. Like, I think on the meta level, you're right. You know, on the level.
Yeah, I'm talking about it overall, because I'm not trying to paint a bad guy, man. Like, I don't want anybody to be mad at a 3-letter government organization, because it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's the devil. It starts in here. It starts in here.
I'm just thinking, practically speaking, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a shell company wrapped up in an Enigma, wrapped up in a bagel shop, you know.
That's giving him big,
like 6
100%.
Degrees, Kevin Bacon, weird corporations that go back to the Fed eventually. Like, I figure it's got to be something like that, because I know there are dumb people out there, but I cannot imagine there being enough dumb people to fund this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm like, yeah, this dude's obviously hokey.
The gate is narrow, man.
I guess. Apparently the bar is very, very, well, anyway. Okay, so that's, let's read this article from the Baptist News Global, because I was hoping to find something. Hang on, my stupid window's all out of whack again. I was hoping to find something that kind of broadly described the story. So I figured we'd read this really quick. Because this was May 8th. Or is this a week? This better not be a week old. Oh, it's a week old. This just happened. All right.
This week.
Let's see. Let's see if they kind of... No, that was the week of the podcast. That's when all this fell apart. We're still good. Okay, so the rumors are real. Pastor Mike Signorelli wrote on X. I was brought into a private briefing with other pastors. No phones, no cameras, no recordings. We were told plainly, disclosure is coming, and what follows will shake the faith of many. If pastors don't start preparing their people now, it will be too late. Now, there's a reason you've never, like, heard of this, like, or saw anything that impressive. The most impressive thing we saw is a infrared shot of a flare that they tried to say was the like wheel of Ezekiel or something, but you could see the smoke billowing from behind the flare and the parachute falling in the background. So it was clearly infrared, and they just inverted the flame. So that was the best we got. The rest of it was like I said last week, our footage is more compelling than all the other stuff they put out. Yeah. It's that embarrassing.
They just have to sow dissent. Like, they just have to like put an idea out there and hope people, like COVID. I think COVID was that. I don't think COVID was anything. I don't think it was real. It was like literally just people fearing it.
With just that fear. One, I actually think that might be legitimate, because it's like...
It's like whatever you believe happens. Literally what Jesus says. Whatever you believe happens. So if you're afraid of COVID, it might not even be real. Or hantavirus. It not even... Do you know what hanta means in Hebrew?
No.
Fake. Look it up. Not even kidding.
Are you serious?
It means a deception. Yes.
Hanta means... I'm Googling it.
Look it up.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to laugh so hard if that's true. Hang on.
It's just an idea. They have to sow an idea, and like sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. Like right before COVID happened, they had the chain shortage. And I was like, this is ridiculous. They just want to make you scared of something. That's it.
Okay, so how do you spell hanta?
Hanta.
Hanta. Okay. AI, where did you hear this? Because AI is denying that's actually...
Don't look at AI.
Word.
Look at the definition of hanta.
Okay, where? Like, I need this... let me look for a site.
Dictionary.com.
Dictionary.com. All right, we'll do that. Dictionary. Because this would be an instance...
It pulled up for me on Google, but...
This would be an instance where you need to Yeah,
Double.
not trust AI. Okay, so Hanta. Just give me the definition. It means. Is there a way to pick the language?
Hanta in Hebrew?
Yeah, Hanta in Hebrew. Let's see. Maybe if I just type that, that'll be enough.
That's what I did.
They've already scrubbed it, Cody.
They knew you were going to talk about it.
Who, Gary?
The
Who?
CIA. It's always the CIA. So, all right. Yeah, it's saying it's not. I'm not getting any of it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I literally Googled it like 2 days ago.
It is saying that the word has went viral for fake. So, but
Hebrew.
it's not Hebrew. It's saying the term is just being equivocated with fake. That's what AI
Yeah,
is claiming.
it's changed since I looked at it, dude. That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Dead internet, bro. I just saw
Okay.
a post.
We got. Yeah.
Oh, you're just being anti-Semitic.
Now again, I am not saying that this is actually a Hebrew word. I'm not saying anything at all. I am just saying if Cody got one answer and then there was another, AI is already on it. Your benevolent overlords are there to establish the narrative for you, whatever the truth may be. So that's all I'm saying. So it's claiming that the Hebrew scam claim, like that's not a loaded term, recently a viral, and again, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm not saying it's true. Recently, a viral rumor circulated on social media claiming Hanta means scam or fake in Hebrew slang. While some linguists and native speakers have noted a coincidental photonic similarity to Karta, a completely different Arabic borrowed slang word for nonsense or bullshit, the claim that Hanta translates to scam in Hebrew is a widespread misconception and linguistic meetup. Okay, guys, just as a teachable moment for propaganda, when you see
This is all
scam,
apologetics.
when you see scam in the headline, and then you've got mix-up down here, implying there's nuance, that's called burying the lead. So, just so you know, there's so it sounds like Karta got conflated with Hanta. So there you go. I think that aspect of it's probably legitimate, but this whole over harsh language and then later explaining the mix-up, that's like go-to liberal bullcrap tactic. So yeah. But the base facts are probably right, I would say. If I were to guess.
We just have to find a book. I don't know.
Yeah, we may have to go back to physical media alone because they're getting faster.
Dude, it's so fast. I'm not kidding. That was like 3 to 4 days ago when I looked that up, and it has all changed.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
Right. We need to get an encyclopedia and look it up.
Anyway, so I don't think it has any Hebrew roots or anything, nor do I think that if it were Hebrew, it would imply anything, except that the CIA did it. All I will say is that if you believe the hantavirus is an issue, you're an idiot.
Might get sick. And you'll probably get sick.
Yeah, fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, shame on me, as the saying goes. Calix9398 says, I also heard that from another person. So yeah, the rumor sprang up, be it true or false, and then the powers that be were like, right away. That's a little spooky because even if this is wrong, even if this is wrong, the fact that they can do that means they can shut down something that's right in the future. Mm-hmm. So bear that in mind.
Yeah, it's all a mess, dude. It's just it's like word spells. I don't even know if that's on purpose.
Like word
what
spells
do you mean?
and
like
music.
what's on purpose?
Like they named it hantavirus and they didn't realize what it actually meant, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's providence. It's like signaling.
Yeah. Right. It's like God's way of showing their hand for us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Calix9398 says the gatekeepers of information. Yeah, there shouldn't be gatekeepers. That's
Yeah,
the
we were
whole problem
kinda
with all
early.
of this.
Gary said they're even scrubbing the Wayback Machine. Like they're scrubbing everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I was doing research on a project, I couldn't get stuff on Internet Archive anymore, and that's one of my major go-to places for info. So that was terrifying.
They're turning us back into the
They're trying to get that
the
3-letter
information
network.
age.
Yeah.
The information age is coming to an end. That's what's happening.
They're trying to shut it down because they know, like they want those three-letter networks back. You know, they are so mad that people can talk about that people can debate and talk about stuff now. They hate it. They hate that you watch long-form podcasts. They hate that you can look up information. They hate that I can actually write a book without needing to go to a library. Like I can sit down and research things from hundreds of years ago at my computer. They hate that. They despise that. And who's the they? The CIA, the government, the people you pay and voted for. They hate you and they hate that you can do research. So, rant over. Because this is not a political show. I'd hate to confuse the communist algorithm. So, anyway. All right. Let's get back to our article. Rant over, I guess. So, all right. All right. We've all seen the movies in Arrival. Investigators must figure out how to communicate with aliens. In E.T., the extraterrestrial, a child befriends an alien and helps the alien come back to their family. District 9 imagines aliens being sent to a run-down government camp. Independence Day explores the human desire to survive in the face of the far superior alien technology. This summer, Steven Spielberg is releasing his latest alien sci-fi thriller, Disclosure Day. But Spielberg says he believes his latest movie is way closer to truth than fiction. Now I have to stop here because Steven Spielberg is one of the most Fabian socialist, creepy SO. Not a good dude. Clearly working for the CIA. Okay, I have
Didn't
more
he do
reason
the
for
moon landing.
No, they say Kubrick did the moon landing.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. He is one of these guys that believes in transcendence through aliens. And you can see that through AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, Spielberg did 2001, right?
Kubrick did 2001.
Really? That was both Kubrick. Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing. AI, artificial intelligence, Steven Spielberg and Kubrick were buddies.
Yeah.
And so Spielberg basically wrote and directed Kubrick's last project. Kubrick had a bunch of story notes and different things for AI, artificial intelligence. He was trying to call it the modern Pinocchio. Of course, the Pinocchio analogy doesn't work because, Pinocchio was trying to be a good person. And these people don't believe in good, so Haley Joel Osment just kind of wanders around in a terrible world for 2 hours. So there's no moral transcendence or anything. But there is aliens becoming God. Anyway, it is such a stupid movie. But the thing is, at the end of AI, artificial intelligence, like the creatures at the end that show up after David's buried in the ice for 2,000 years, those are supposed to be robots. Now, nobody would tell you that because they look exactly like aliens. Like, they're all, like, slender, and their limbs are all, like, disproportionate. And they even glitter like they got stars in them, So they're clearly meant to look like aliens, and they're clearly meant to confuse the audience into thinking they're aliens. And they've been repeatedly saying that David is praying to the blue fairy and the blue fairy isn't answering his prayer, that kind of thing. The implication is David doesn't realize the blue fairy is fake, and it's like Steven Spielberg going, "Ha! You see? Your God is a fairy tale. Get it?" It's subtle, it's just subtle. So that's clearly what he's doing. And then, the aliens thaw David off and reboot him. And then he touches the blue fairy statue, and then the blue fairy shatters, right? And of course, the idea is that once the aliens arrive, we will no longer need God. I mean, that's literally what I think he's saying, because that entire movie is so ridiculously pretentious. and it's got all these little double meanings in it. I think I'm very justified in thinking that he was saying that intentionally. So, anyway, so Spielberg, I imagine Disclosure Day is going to say something to the effect of, oh, look at that, the aliens made us, they're our god, so they can reintroduce a pantheon, So it's like...
Which are just the Nephilim coming back.
That's why Stephen Greer got so upset about Vance saying they're demons. Because J.D. Vance was like, yeah, they're probably demons. And then Greer gets on Alex Jones and goes, no, they're not. It's like, but you're talking to them through meditation. Like, you want demons? That's how you get demons.
How dare you?
How dare you? That's offensive. They'll never talk to us now. It's like, okay, Steve, I'm sure there's a gray on a switchboard waiting for you to call in. It's just, oh my gosh. Oh. Anyway, so that's what makes this worse. If you've got these, like, how do I explain this simply? You have these guys that are probably aware, and I think this is... I'm going to say a theory. I don't know if it's true, and I'm not saying it is true, but I am postulating it. I'm working on a hypothesis here, okay? So, everybody's always saying Alex Jones is always right? Alex Jones got his information from, oh my gosh, Ted Gunderson. That was his name, Ted Gunderson. Ted Gunderson was a frequenter of this group called the Prophecy Club. And the Prophecy Club was hanging around with guys like Kent Hovind, France something, Gunderson was in it. They had a bunch of people that were in this kind of like evangelical sect. Now, here's what I think these guys did, and just cutting through all the nuances as to why I think this. Let me just cut to the chase. I think these guys, like Gunderson and the Prophecy Club guys, came across H.G. Wells's An Open Conspiracy and like the whole Fabian socialist plot, and they tied all of that into their prophecy predictions. So that's like where you get Left Behind. That's where you get all the 7-year tribulation stuff that we grew up with in the 90s. That was all based on these globalists' plans. I think what these guys are doing is something similar. I think they know that the CIA or somebody is going to eventually say the aliens made us and try to like get rid of religion through establishing some pagan pantheon or something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they're going to go full Project Blue Book or not, but I think they are going to continue to push the panspermia idea. I think they know that, and I think that they are doing the exact same thing. They're taking that idea, that Project Blue Book idea, and then they're trying to apply it to their prophecies. I also think this might be how Brandon Biggs is getting some of his stuff right. I think he's tied into this kind of anticipating the government characters. And so he's listening to Jones, he's listening to the people that are following this, and then he's making his prophecies retroactively. Like after he hears what Jones says, based on analysis, he goes and prays and, says there's going to be an attack. Because I've been sitting here thinking about it, and it makes so much sense. Like he was talking about cities being burned and attacked in his, like, remember when we watched that speaking in tongues thing? And he was getting real into it, and that was probably the moment I started to change my mind about him. But I didn't realize at the time that Alex Jones was predicting cities getting wiped out. And then, of course, when the LA fires happened and the Palisades gets destroyed, that was Jones, his prediction coming true, because Jones was following the World Economic Forum, the fact that they were intentionally not cutting the brush, and he was tracking what the World Economic Forum guys were doing and BlackRock was doing, and he's like, and then he guessed, oh, they're going to set crap on fire, right? I think Brandon Biggs was hearing stuff like that, which is probably also why he was on Alex Jones, because he's probably been a fan.
I didn't know that was...
Yeah. And so,
I forgot.
yeah, so he was hearing that stuff, and then he was making these prophecies based on Jones's guesses about the news. And I think that's what these guys did. I think what they did is I think they knew Trump was talking his butt off about, because you know how Trump is. He just shoots his mouth off without thinking. You know, like the guy, sometimes he has a plan and it's 4D chess, and other times it's just, what are you doing? Talk to anybody in the cattle industry. They're still furious with him about that Argentina cow thing. Like,
I'm still furious about the gas. Like, get out of the Strait of Hormuz, bro. Open it up. You freaking.
I think I've said it before, but I'm willing to pay for the gas if the women quit wearing the burqas. I'm all for paying higher gas.
Why do you care about a different country?
Because they're people. But here's my thing.
If we got out of their country, they'd probably be okay.
They haven't been okay for 40 years, and we haven't been in their country.
Yes, we have.
The CIA's been, but we haven't actually overthrown that government. And that brings me to the point I was trying to make. The Ayatollah, I believe, are connected to like NATO and the CIA and all these guys. That's why Obama flew pallets of cash to them on planes. Why do you fly pallets of cash? So the money will disappear. Where is the money supposed to disappear to? All the terrorist cells. They're funding ISIS. They're funding Al-Qaeda. They're funding everything going on in the Middle East, and they're destabilizing everything.
But their ideas are from the CIA.
Yes, they're favoring. Well, Iran is a proxy army.
Built by the CIA.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was hoping Trump was rebelling against the CIA by actually taking out the Ayatollah. That doesn't look like that's what's happening. So I'm disappointed. Is what I'm getting at.
They don't want change, dude. They want the same shit over and over again. Like if Trump would have kept his freaking giant nose out of this, the U.S. dollar would be destabilized, and we would have to go back to trading and all that kind of stuff. And it would suck for a while, but it would make us all strong as fuck, and it would be awesome.
I think the board needs to change, and I don't know. Well, we got to stop. We got to get rid of the proxy army. We got to get rid of the Ayatollah. We got to get rid of the whole constant war in the Middle East dynamic. That I honestly think Europe. Yeah, it may or may not be, but you got to understand, Cody. They want to crash the dollar. The Fabian socialist goal is to crash the dollar. They want the whole world to operate like Europe.
No.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's what they want. They want the dollar gone. They want the dollar gone. Or they want to control the dollar. Huh?
The dollar is for debt. The dollar is like, it's huge for them. They want it so they can charge people interest.
But eventually the goal is to crash the dollar. That's why.
After they have
what they're doing. Yes, after they. That's exactly right. What they're doing is they are taking the money as it's inflating and buying up all the assets.
Yes.
So whenever they finally crash the currency overall, nobody's going to own anything. They will own all of it, and then you will get a stipend because they've already bought. They're going to buy everything while the dollar still has purchasing power. And then when the dollar no longer has any purchasing power or very little, they'll crash all of it.
But they if we let it crash naturally, they wouldn't have the money yet, or they wouldn't have the assets yet. Like, let it crash right now.
Cody, because we're so late in the game. Like,
Trump's
their
playing
original
into the
goal
plan,
was
dude.
2030. Their original goal was 2030. It might have got pushed back to 2032 at this point. But we're so late in the game, I don't know if crashing the dollar would be beneficial for us or them. It's an open question. I don't know. But my point is, their goal is to destroy the country because that's what Fabian Social... Like, in order for their little technocracy, their committee of experts crap to work, they have to completely destroy the nation state or keep all the nation states really, really weak. Because the goal is, again... Just like think the UN, think NATO. Whole world runs like Europe. That's what they want. So, yeah, they have to destroy everything. They have to destroy America because America is the biggest dog. And how do you do that? You drain their resources through foreign wars, and then you flood the border. That's the strategy. And so Iran has been their hub for all that. They have been funding Al-Qaeda through Iran. Who was, like, I think, was it... I think Bin Laden was a CIA guy.
Yeah, I forgot his name. It was like Ben or something.
Yeah. So yeah, and then of course you have Iran Contra and all that. So they've been using. I think they've been using Iran as a hub. Now I think the CIA is not a monolith. I think there's factions. Because it's like, I think one group is really mad because the Ayatollah turned on them, and then I think another group is really like trying to prop the Ayatollah up. So I mean, it's not a monolith, but point is, if you want to get a different outcome, you got to change. You can't have the same power structure.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of hoping they'd put that prince in. The Iranians have this prince. They want to be in charge of the son of the prince that was in charge before the Ayatollah took over. Like, there's a huge chunk of people that are willing to support that guy. So it's not like Iraq where you're going to be just stuck nation building, because there's already an exit strategy. The Iranian people have already articulated what they want. And so I was kind of hoping Trump would support that. And if he was willing to support that, I would be willing to pay $4 gas. But it looks like, well, we're just going to keep trying to make deals with the Ayatollah, even though we can't even find them at this point. I don't even know who he's negotiating with now. So it's like, why are you still negotiating with the Ayatollah? Why don't you put another government in there? Because there's already one practically half set up.
Yeah.
That frustrates me. I don't know what's going on.
Like, I think he's playing dead possum. He wants to stay stagnant for now.
I don't know. I think he wants to secure the oil. I
think he's trying to starve the world out of Iranian oil so they can only use U.S. oil. And that brings value back to the dollar.
Yes, I think that's correct. It's going to suck, though. It's going to take a long time for that transition to that's going to be...
Gas is going to be like $9 fucking. It's going to be crazy.
I'm willing to pay that if the women quit wearing the burqas and my kids are better off.
You're crazy. Fine. Fuck that. I don't give a shit about Iran. I care about my business and my family.
I care about...
I take care of my own first.
Yeah, but you also want to make sure that your children are able to buy stuff on their own and have a nicer house than you. So you are going to have to get some purchasing power back into the dollar anyway. And this will do that. It's not enough of a motivation for me, but I do feel better thinking that Demi might be better off than I've been.
Why don't you just start buying silver?
Because I can't afford it. I'm that poor. So
it's over like $73 an ounce right now. You go buy an ounce.
Maybe.
Just start buying silver, man. I mean, like, you're talking about, the dollar won't have any value. Oh.
No, I'm literally just saying the opposite. I was literally just saying the opposite. I said this oil thing would bring purchasing power back to the dollar. I was agreeing with you about it improving the dollar. That would be better for your kids, but it's going to suck for us.
I just want whatever is supposed to happen. People like Trump are stopping natural progression from happening. Like this whole thing with the Strait of Hormuz, he's biding his time so that the U.S. dollar, which is fake, it's a debt note, it's like a magic spell, dude, and he's re-kicking off the magic spell and pretending like the dollar is worth something when it's not.
Yeah, I do agree with you that he's trying to return the supremacy of the dollar. I think you're right about that. I don't know about
it's just pushing off.
I agree with the mechanics, but
like we started, our value came from, I think, France, right? So like Fort Knox is full of French gold, right? Or supposedly.
I don't even know if Fort Knox actually has any gold at this point. They
might
have got rid of all of it.
But like France funded the beginnings of our country, like with gold. I think it was France.
I know all I know about France's connection to Fort Knox is that they wanted their gold back in Vietnam and didn't get it.
Right. It's every 70 years. So every 70 years, there's like I've forgotten a lot of this. Every 70 years, like there's like a contract with the French and they want their gold back at the end of that 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've forgotten it all. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're supposed to be talking about aliens. we completely derailed.
But we can't give the French their gold back. I think it's all gone.
Yeah, it's all gone. I think it's gone.
So it's like we're going to war with France if we don't keep the dollar's value up. Like it's gonna start some shit.
How will we ever beat France in a war?
They're like, oui, pew pew.
I'm not too worried about France.
I'm not either, but I think there's a lot of geopolitics involved with the value of the dollar, and if it upended, it would be fucking crazy. But it would be awesome because it would bring back the value of real assets.
Well,
and it would force us to use real assets and not debt. And debt is usury, which is evil. So
I mean, I agree with you on that. I don't like our current system. I think we do need to go back to the gold standard or something like it. With our current system, you can't sustain it. I agree with you there for sure. I don't know. I certainly don't think Trump's going to be able to pull that off, and I don't know who could. But that's the whole problem with this. You've got to burn the old system down. I was hoping.
Trump is not letting that happen.
I was hoping Trump would by flipping the board with Iran, because I know Iran's the hub of all this Middle Eastern crap. And if he changes the board on that, apparently that's supposed to also weaken China. Of course, everybody makes a big deal about China, and I'm not convinced that China is like as big a deal as everybody says. Like
I don't think it is.
I'm of the opinion that their one-child policy decimated them, and they know they're less than a generation away from total collapse, which is why they're freaking out. So I'm not super worried about China. Trump seems to be super worried about China, and I get what he's doing is he's kicking China out of the Western Hemisphere, which is fine. I'm fine with that, but at the end of the day, I don't think China is our greatest threat. I think it's Britain, NATO, and the CIA and our intelligence branches and our NGOs and the enemy within. These guys that are Fabian socialists.
Yep.
Now that's my humble opinion.
You can't destroy America from the outside.
Right.
Not possible.
Right. So, anyway, back to aliens. My whole point with all of that was Brandon Biggs, I think, was looking at the news retrospectively. The Prophecy Club was looking at the Fabian Socialist Plan and kind of mixing it with end times. Calix9398 says, have you seen the China show? I like their takes. I think Razor Fist keeps recommending the China show, and I keep meaning to watch them, but I haven't done that yet. So I will be sure to look them up, Calix. I mean, I should have done it a long time ago, though. But yes, I have heard of them. So
I actually subscribed to Razor Fist on YouTube, I think yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I think so.
Fist. I like Razor
He's
Fist.
funny, man.
Yeah.
I love his Abraham Lincoln, though.
Huh?
It's great. His Abraham Lincoln one? That's great.
Yeah. I obviously disagree with it, but I appreciate the humor and the effort. So. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so we already talked about Spielberg. Let's see what he says here. I don't know any more than any of you do, Spielberg says, but I have a very strong suspicion that we are not alone here on Earth right now. And I made a movie about that. However, other than evangelical rapture movies, the idea of the U.S. government meeting in an Airbnb in the backwoods of Tennessee with a group of Pentecostal pastors to tell them to warn their parishioners not to be deceived by the imminent alien disclosure hasn't been a plot line that crossed many Hollywood writers' minds. I like the shot at the rapture. Good to know where you stand on that, author. That was somewhat wittily done, though. I will compliment you for the wit a little bit. All right, that's pretty good. I'll give it a B. I'll give it an A. I liked it. Anyway, so, all right, the Airbnb meetings. There were a large number of pastors and that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government.
Some top men.
Top men. I'm going to go on because this is just saying the same thing over and over again. So we got Perry Stone again, some of the alien narrative, what's coming, the specifics of the allegedly imminent disclosure can be hard to pin down. Wow, that's a great way to say we don't know. Well, we do know, being on the other side of Friday, not much. So, bit of a letdown.
I put that podcast
bit of a
in the
letdown.
chat, by the way.
Huh?
That podcast of that picture that we see.
Oh, the last days UFO. You've listened to that?
No, I looked it up and put it in the chat if you
Oh.
wanted to react to it.
Okay, we can listen to this guy. Why not? Why?
No.
Huh?
It's the podcast of the 4 Pentecostal preachers talking.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll give this a whirl for a minute. If I can get this to work. Why did that pop up? Wrong link, I guess. All right, boys, we're gonna look at this really quick. What did these special individuals who Uncle Sam deemed worthy of this sacred knowledge, what did they have to say? Maybe they'll have more special shirts Cody can hate on. All right.
And there's thousands of people, right? People are kind of looking. Remember that? And being sacred.
The one and the only Mike Signorelli, everybody.
Literally giving them the status of being sacred.
I just want to point out we're already off to a great start. The Mike Signorelli. I don't know why you need
Who's that?
Yeah, who's that?
He's from New York.
Oh, who guessed? It's a big deal. It's like, oh, well,
I think that's right.
Okay, well. Okay, on our next episode, I want you all to say, it is the Gary Paul Varner.
This is the way.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, this is the Cody Ford. This is the Turtle Chief. That one actually makes a little sense. So, Trevor is the Turtle Chief. I can't imagine anybody else being called Turtle Chief, so that might be fair. So,
on
Pizzagate
record,
is real.
comparing them to angels, calling their crash sites holy ground. Like, these are real phrases in all of the research I'm doing, and it's already begun to infiltrate the church, believe it or not. And so what I'm about to show you today is going to change how you see the entire disclosure conversation.
No, it's not.
And you may be watching this.
Don't tell me how I'm going to see my perspective, you homo.
we'll sit it on the other side of Friday. No, it didn't. It was very wrong.
Before
Is
the
he a Homo
disclosure,
sapien?
and
Is he a Homo
No.
sapien? I don't know, Trevor. Let's see what he has
my
to
hope
say.
is that it's going to actually inoculate you against all this deception, or you may actually be watching this after the fact, and we're about to prophetically prove that the Spirit of the living God already revealed to his sons beforehand for your benefit, so that you and your family will be saved in the midst of this. So
You gotta have some hubris. It's like, maybe you're watching this after the fact, and we're gonna prove to you the power of God because we're so right. You do realize other people were going to watch this after the fact, right? Not thinking it through.
And there's a number.
Oh, there's a number we could pray. Oh, really?
Let's call them.
Oh,
And
it's
be like, oh, I'm so scared of the aliens. Please make me feel better.
like, why is the phone call in an accent? Just saying, we're probably gonna get some operator
this is
overseas.
part 2. Y'all, you're probably here because you saw the first part. And I just want to say thank you for your commitment to the truth. But we're going to go real deep, and we're going to go very specific. We're each going to bring research that we have. So if y'all don't mind, we could just get into it.
Yeah.
He's going to go
All right.
real deep
So,
with the boys.
Alan,
you know what I mean?
Real deep. We're gonna have
With the boys.
in-depth discussion. My
The best part is 42 minutes in.
42 minutes in. Let's jump there. All right, we're gonna jump to minute 42. The most
deep.
replayed. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. What are we gonna see here?
Uh,
That Isaiah 45
Yes,
thing all the way to
open the
verse
gate.
3. And here's what's going to come next.
Calix says, with the boys.
The hidden treasures of secret places, the hidden treasures of darkness are coming to your ministry. They're coming to this house. They're going to begin to open the double doors. The gates will not be shut to this city.
What I love about this table right now is when we're talking about this,
Be shut to this city.
what I love.
And here's what's going to come next. The hidden treasures of secret places, the hidden treasures of darkness are coming to your ministry. They're coming to this house.
The hidden
They're going to begin
treasures
to
of
open the double
darkness?
doors. The gates.
What does that even mean?
That means he's a fucking demon. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't want the treasures of darkness.
But I don't want it. You're going to take it. This is a gift.
Yeah, there we go. It's like, put on the ring. I don't want the ring.
It's coming healing.
Yes.
But now's coming the message.
That's it.
Now's coming the fire.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all coming in waves. And that's what I mean. It's like there's a spiritual climate change, but it's always the tale of two cities.
Yeah.
It's all
What?
They're
A
just saying
spiritual
nonsense.
climate change. A spiritual climate change. You have a spiritual global warming, metaphorically,
He just-
of course,
he
and
just said-
spiritually.
Spiritually, a fake thing. This guy.
You're right.
Oh,
Oh wow! What was the other thing he said? It was spiritual climate change, which was a hoax. Illuminati confirmed. What was the other thing he said? Oh gosh.
I'm a giant flaming
Oh,
homo.
and it's gonna be a tale of two cities. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how do those two thoughts possibly connect in any way, shape, or form? There's gonna be climate change in two cities spiritually. I don't know what that means.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
There's some
New
people,
York
dude.
and Manhattan.
Sorry, go on.
I want to like kick the back of their chair, the legs out from under, you know? Like, I don't want to like
Oh.
injure them or anything, but I definitely want to make them.
Oh yes, you do. You want to hurt somebody.
No, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Okay, just make them question their life choices then.
Yeah,
There
they're
you
like,
go.
oh, why do I deserve this? Why am I on the ground right now? You know?
We got to put them on the ground by necessity so they can
wanna
reflect
hear
on their
something
poor
funny?
decisions.
You want to hear something really funny?
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Mike apparently grew out his hair just for this podcast.
Mike?
Who?
That guy that's got his hands up.
Oh,
If you go to his channel, he's actually bald.
I can see his little picture here. Yes, he's bald.
He grew his hair out for a podcast?
Yeah, just for this podcast.
What do you like? He planned this podcast for 4 months.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Like, is that did he say that?
No, I was just being silly.
Oh,
God.
okay. All right. Gotcha. Well,
Wasting
anyway,
time.
you just committed climate change in two cities, Trevor, whatever that means. Spiritually, of course.
Spirit.
always the enemy clicks into a mode, then the Lord clicks into a mode, right? And we're experiencing that battle just right now. It's the Islamification of New York City. While that's happening,
Yeah.
we're setting up in Times Square and doing a historic event for Easter Sunday. It's both.
It was dark in Egypt, light in Goshen.
This guy's a
And this
moron.
is what's happening, brother.
Yeah.
I can't even follow what he's saying. Yeah.
No, he's not saying anything.
you're
he's
right,
just
you're
he's
right.
just saying bullshit. It's lip service shit. Ugh. This makes me want to smoke a joint, and I'm not going to, but oh my.
Don't succumb. Don't succumb.
I
Fight
won't.
it. Fight it.
These guys, look how easy the backs of the chair legs would be to break out from under them. Just one good kick.
It's one good kick. I gotcha.
Like, oh,
I could just spews for views. Very good, Calyx. Spews for views. Yeah. I could just hear Joe screaming, what does pessimistically optimistic mean? So, cautiously optimistic. That was his rant. It's the same thing. It's like there's two cities. There's light and there's dark, spiritually. There's treasures there, spiritually. Metaphorically. Because of climate change. Spiritual
Big
climate
words.
change. Yes.
They're-
You're leading
they're,
the way, Mike. You really
look,
are. You have
he's
this
using-
apostolic anointing.
he's using like adjectives and very descriptive words. He's focusing on descriptive words to paint pictures in your mind so you don't actually know what the fuck you're hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that for sure. All right. Let's see if we can actually get to 42 minutes because that's where Trevor said the humor was.
To open the gates. It's that Isaiah 45 thing
Yes,
all the way to
open the
verse
gate.
3. And here's what's going to come next.
Isaiah
The hidden
45.
treasures of secret places, the hidden treasures of darkness are coming to your ministry. They're coming to this house. They're going to begin to open the double doors. The gates will not be shut to this city.
What I love about this table right
Okay, I'm looking up Isaiah 45. I don't
Yeah.
need the verse. We're going to look it up. We're going to look it up, boys and girls. I don't need
45. All the way to verse 3. The hidden treasures of darkness.
Yes, Isaiah 45. What is that going to be applicable to this situation in any way, shape, or form? I wonder. Let's see. Isaiah 45.
These guys are teaching out of the amplified version, by the way.
Well, that's
What is an
heresy.
amplified version?
I don't know.
Very, very paraphrased. So
So they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
it's like it's like trying to put the Greek...
Isaiah 45 verse 1. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him, and I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the two-leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut. I will go before thee and make thee crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by name, am the God of Israel.
So, basically, this is a prophecy for Cyrus. Cyrus is going to break into a gate, and he is going to get the treasures of darkness and hidden riches in secret places, that thou mayest know that I am Lord. So he's going to get treasures probably within a city. And when this particular thing happens, if I remember correctly, I cannot remember if this is referring to, if this prophecy is referring to either the fall of Israel, because it's Isaiah 45, so I don't know where exactly we're at. Is he predicting the fall of Israel, or if he's predicting the return to Israel? But it says Cyrus, so I think Cyrus is the guy that sends them back. But
Is it talking about the Cyrus from Trailer Park Boys?
No, he's
Like
talking about the
9mm.
Cyrus that doesn't even exist
Safety,
yet.
Always off.
Well, this is one of the more interesting prophecies in the Bible because, Isaiah is saying this before Cyrus is ever the king of anything. So he's like, God is literally calling Cyrus out specifically by name before anybody knows who he is. And then, of course, if my memory is coming back a little bit, then that means he's basically talking about the Jews going back or Cyrus being a successful conqueror. Either way, that's not talking about the prosperity of a podcast.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
That's called cherry picking.
Exactly. Even if I'm wrong about the context, I hope I have demonstrated there is a context, and it has nothing to do with making you rich. So, wow. That's really funny. Okay.
Now is when we're talking about deception, a lot of times what that's doing is it's creating fear in people, which creates isolation.
Yeah.
And what I hear from you guys is talking about this is wanting to bring
Deep thoughts. I was too busy drinking my soda and thinking about how much I like the soda. I wasn't listening, so I'm sure it was profound though.
people outside of their house. Yeah. Like Mike's like, we're going to Times Square.
This professional 32 TW SSD
hey, look, it's an ad.
Capable of holding the entire collection of the New York Public Library is something you won't find at Best Buy or any electronics retailer, even if you were willing to drop a
like, wow, that entity, the gray, said, come out of your house.
Yeah. Wow.
What?
So it's a false, remember, it's light versus false lies. And I think the call, because your wife is incredibly anointed, by the way. I mean, we know this. She was speaking in tongues over Mike's shoulder, and I was like, whoa. I was like, almost, we were in a podcast, almost.
Dude, I could feel the fake laugh.
Yeah.
I didn't just hear, I felt the fakeness. It made my gut go, like,
I would like to go into this room and calmly flip their table.
That would be righteous anger. Okay, we gotta stop. This is fun, but we gotta stop. We have went way too long.
We did.
Okay, moral of the story is these guys were full of crap. This guy, I think, was the guy that, well, I don't want to say. Basically, he lied, and they all got egg on their face, and everyone lived happily ever after. Don't listen to these people. They're not insane. They're liars. So leave them alone. So,
well, liars believe their lies most of the time eventually, so they are insane.
Unless they're complete Machiavellians. And I think these guys are complete Machiavellians. I think, gosh, there was, one more thing. I'm sorry, we went so long, but one more thing. This guy. I think it's him. How do I find this?
Bald guy?
Winger. Bald guy with the longest beard.
It's always
I know, right? Dude. I've got to find this guy. What was his... Oh, no, it's this dude. He's not in this podcast. But he's talking... All right, this is one of the guys that was part of the group. He wasn't in the podcast, but this guy right here, he wasn't in the podcast we just watched. But this, I think... I don't know. These guys are both involved in the same scam, whether or not they were in that podcast or not. But I want you to pay attention to this dude, just to show you how Machiavellian this is.
Beg and plead with the pastors, please wake up your congregation and tell them they are not ready, because the church is going to fall for this lie.
That is not possibly what not possibly what Larry said it was. That
all right, sorry, hang on. Please go watch Mike Winger's full video. He does a really good job breaking this down. I'm just wanting to make one point here, and I'm using his video to do it. If I can find it. Here we go. Now, I want you to look at this guy's studio and tell me what it reminds you of.
Well, this is Larry Ragland. Just so you understand where he's coming from.
Larry Ragland.
I feel this could cause people into lead them into a type of religious psychosis. I think it can be very unhealthy for people, and it can kind of cause the panic that they're worried about fixing. They're going to create. So I'll just play the clip for you here. This is how Larry Ragland couches things.
Tonight, we need to address something very, very important.
Whose studio does that remind you of?
We talk a lot about
This guy's studio.
The news?
Not the news. Whose news station? Look at the logo. Look at the coloring. Look at the shape of his beard.
I literally have no idea.
He's Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
It's Alex Jones. He's copying InfoWars' flippin' studio. Look at it from another angle here, if we can get it to do it. That's the same one. It's freaking InfoWars. I'm trying to... there's a better shot in here where he shows his logo. And the logo's even reminiscent of InfoWars.
It's on Star Wars Day, too.
Oh, yeah?
May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th.
Everybody's got their mind on Star Wars already.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to find his picture again really quick. I'm maintaining this dude is totally stealing Alex Jones's shtick. Yeah, because...
You catch that? They did it on May the 4th.
Huh?
They did it on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Your brain's already on Star Wars.
Or is it the
right.
Revenge of the 6th?
Revenge of the 6th. Ha, 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 ha. Let's see if I can find more pictures of this guy. What's it say? Larry Ragland?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't watched Alex Jones in a while.
He's totally stole the InfoWars studio design.
He's got like a big studio. I thought he had like TVs behind him.
Yeah, Larry Ragland. Yeah, that's him. Holy crap. He's even doing the Alex Jones point, guys. Hang on.
Oh, wow,
here.
he is.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this dude.
So he's a copycat.
Yeah.
Is he a copycat or is he a same?
No, this is a marketing shtick. This is a marketing shtick. This is somebody... I am the Alex Jones of prophecy. That's what that is. That is a gimmick if I have ever freaking seen one. Hang on here. Let's see this. Let's look at this split screen deal. He's probably going to be sitting like Alex Jones in the whole 9 yards.
Copyright.
Hear somebody like this, like me, talk about giants and
he sounds like him.
Conversation today.
Copyright. Copy my rights.
I still can't get his logo. I saw a logo of his a minute ago, and it looked just like Alex Jones's. Yeah, so...
Got Area 51 on there. That's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. And then he's got the microphone set up in like approximately the same spot. Yeah. It's Alex
He's even
Jones,
trying to look
man.
like him. Like he wears black shirts. Like
he's got his beard cut exactly the same. Oh my gosh. And Calix says, season of grifters. I know. Like, how does nobody not recognize that?
There's no originality in the demonic realm.
Wow.
When everyone's possessed by demons, they can't.
I'm not calling Jones. Yeah, well, I'm not calling Jones demonic, but yeah, this is obviously a copycat. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, I'm done. I just wanted to point that out. I just thought it's
a good catch,
so
man.
Funny.
It is funny.
So
it's a good catch.
Thank you. Sir.
Yeah, there's another guy on. So there's a guy after Owen Benjamin got canceled and all that stuff. There was a guy on Facebook that popped up named Ben Owen, and he's like this big alpha dude. And he's like, he's just not saying the same things as Owen. It's like, man. Dude, this is a put up. This is. It's hilarious, man.
That's crazy. Wow. Oh goodness. Okay, so we're done with this section because we went for like ever. So I guess we got one more to go.
Jeez, what time is it? It's midnight, bro.
You want to call it good? We can talk about virtuous men and being men without vice next time if you want, but that's our last subject. We got whether or not men can live without vice, which was the subject you wanted to cover. So you want to
save it for next week.
Save it for next week. Okay.
See if I can make it a week.
See if you can make it a week. All right.
I'll have more to say.
Next week you're coming here going, no, it's impossible.
Good luck.
Good luck, good sir. Calix is like, it's 10 p.m. here. Where are you from, man? I think you've told us before.
California.
California. That's right. LOL. Oh, man. And he says LOL, yeah. All right, well, Calix, thanks so much for joining us, man. I think we're gonna let it call tonight. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for hanging out.
Okay, we're good.
Sweet, boys.
Well done.
I wanted, but we just didn't have enough time. I wanted to try to fake what they're doing. All right.
What do you mean?
Like, so I'm here to prophesy to you, Cody, that you're going to get a tower, and the tower's going to have a diamond, and the diamond's going to be sparkling with the light of darkness before the dawn. And just see if we could build on top of each other and just make total crap up. So
yeah, we totally could. I mean, it'd be funny.
It would be funny, yeah.
Well, that whole group has mastered the art of looking stuff up as they go.
Oh yeah.
Like if you share stuff all over your Facebook and stuff, they have mastered it.
Who has like these prophecy guys?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Like, so are they gonna spy on us?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. CIA's probably already called them. This really small podcast, use your podcast stuff. You should copyright them.
They might very well do it. Hey, it's transformative. It's fair. They can't touch us. I don't think. They'd be the first to even do a copyright claim on a show.
They do that, just give them the rights to the episode. Fuck it.
Yeah, who cares? It's we literally schedule them all as Creative Commons, so they really can't do anything. It's like our stuff's public domain. We don't make any money on it.
No.
So we probably won't. Well, they'll probably all be on the public domain until we actually get monetized, if we ever do. So
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that one went all right. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I feel good about it.
Yeah, I do too. All right. And I feel a lot better than I did at the beginning, which is nice. So.
Dang, Rumble is way, brightened.
Rumble is brightened?
Yeah, look how.
Is it just Rumble?
Yeah, that's just Rumble.
That's crazy. It's like the brightness setting is turned up on Rumble.
Yeah.
It looks good, though. I don't think it looks bad.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah. All right, guys. I don't have anything for y'all. We can just keep talking if you like, or if you need to go to bed, you can go to bed. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I smell like shit because I've been detoxing weed all day. I'm gonna take a shower.
All right, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. I am going to edit this and hope we don't have too much lag. I don't think we do. We didn't during the live stream.
Yeah, the live stream was running good, and I tried to check on it quite a bit.
Yeah. So I think we're good in that regard.
Ooh.
Oh, come on. See what we got.
Yeah, now that my computer's running good, I can catch up on stuff.
Yeah. Oh, man. I probably should.
All right, boys. You have a good night.
All
Gary,
right.
I hope you get to feeling better.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You guys.
See you, Trevor. You did great tonight, man.
You too.
Y'all did
Thank you.
good. Yep. We'll see y'all. Good night.
Later.